Welcome everyone to the PJ's Cast. I'm your host Pierce, alongside of my good pal Dylan, and strap in, grab some snacks, grab some drinks, whatever you gotta do, because I think this is going to be probably a 3-hour podcast or pretty close to it. Because I think just as NHL fans, finally we were delivered on the hype of, I think this offseason is going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of trades, there's going to be a lot of moves, and there's going to be offer sheets because the last few years it feels like all these NHL insiders have been like, we're going to get all that, and then it never happens. But finally this year we got it, and as Hawks fans, we even got to, I guess, enjoy a little bit of it, or at least take in a little bit of it. So yeah, where do you want to start here? I think it's appropriate to start with the Blackhawks moves, and then maybe go in chronological order with everything that happened. Because yeah, we got like 3 weeks of worth of stuff to talk about here.
Yeah, we could start wherever you want to start. We got a lot of shit to get into.
Yeah. Well, before we get into any of the Blackhawks moves, I think we just got to touch on the Connor Bedard injury. I don't even know what you say. Like, he's practicing in Vancouver. A bunch of Hawks teammates have joined him over there. They haven't played hockey in almost 3 months at this point. Their last games were in mid-April, and all the young guys are trying to stay active and get into shape or stay in shape, whatever. And then Connor Bedard hurts his other shoulder while playing, and he's going to be out for 4 months. And the last podcast we did, well, really all the podcasts we've done leading up into this off season, it's like this team needs to take a step next year, and they made some moves this off season, but now it just feels like they're already behind the 8 ball with Connor Bedard being out for a month. And the season starts in late September now, and not like early to mid October. Jesus, too many words. The NHL season starts in late September, not like early to mid October now. He's probably gonna miss a month and a bit worth of games, probably 15 games like he has in the past with his other injuries that have happened. And there's 84 games this season. That's another thing I'm personally gonna have to get used to. I keep forgetting we're going up to 84 games now, but you're already behind the 8 ball. Your best player's out, and with the moves they've made this offseason, they still have not gotten more support for Connor Bedard. And we've been saying it. You have to plan as if Connor Bedard and Frank Nazar, your two best forwards, are going to get hurt again. And look at what happened. Like, you still don't have Bedard signed. You're just like a week and a half after free agency. And man, you're putting so much pressure on all these young guys to perform. And now that's increased with the Bedard injury. Frundell, who's only played 12 NHL games, is going to have the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's probably going to have to play 1C, him or Nazar. And then Roman Kancherov, who has not played an NHL game yet, you're immediately banking on him coming into the lineup and being a top 6 player. And you're asking more out of Oliver Moore and Nick Lardis. And yeah, just, man, Bedard has such a big part to his team, and it's just really frustrating. I don't even know what you say about the injury. And people were calling him Jack Hughes because Jack Hughes has gone through a few injuries, including a couple ones like the one where he was at the dinner and like slashed his hand on some glass. At least with Bedard, he hasn't had any like major injuries where he's out over half the season or missing most of the season. Like, the most he's missed is 15 games, and that's probably what's going to happen to start the season off. But yeah, I'm rambling on. I don't know what else to say about Bedard. I'm like, shit, I hope he gets better. I hope they sign a contract while he's injured and they get that done. But yeah, I think you and I are a little skeptical of the moves they made this offseason. We'll get into it. But yeah, just any like skepticism we had for that, I think that's like all this overshadows it in a bad way because your best player is out.
Yeah, you're already behind the 8 ball before the season even starts, and it's the one player you couldn't afford to lose. It's just that simple. But remember, he apparently got hurt in a wakeboarding accident and then faked it on the ice. Like,
Thing.
I'm so fucking sick of this offseason, but that's besides the point. Yeah, like, it's just like he's fucked up both of his shoulders in a calendar year. I don't really know what else you want to say about that. Like, it doesn't matter whichever way you want to spin zone that. He's fucked up both of his shoulders before he's 21. That's a problem, in my opinion. especially for a guy who is supposed to be a fucking elite goal scorer, and now he's got both of his shoulders fucked up. So it's not a good spot to be in going into the season. We saw how much rocket fuel he took last offseason when he had his training. He's not going to have that anymore. He's going to be rehabbing all offseason. He's going to have a slow start to the season. I can't imagine he's going to be up to speed till Christmas. Like, this whole season's fucked. This whole season's fucked before you could even get started. And I can't help but look at the GM again. Because we fucking scream this till the cows come home. You need to get help for these kids. You have to insulate them because you have to prepare. This isn't franchise mode where you can turn injuries off and your lineup's just set in stone July 1st. Like, I feel like I'm going insane the amount of times I've had to say that about this team. And I've been saying it for 4 fucking years now. But that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We'll see what these kids have. We'll see what Kyle's band of misfit toys has for us, because I feel so bad for, like, I've texted you like 4 times over the last week. They are banking on 6 players under 22, taking massive steps this year. That's just in the forward group. I'm not even including guys like Rinzel, Lev Shinov, all these guys. They are banking on so much shit right now. And the guy who is supposed to catalyst a lot of it is not going to be there for the first 15 games. So we're going to really find out how deep this prospect pool is. And it's like, it's not fair to the kids. We've said this time and time again. I'm not going to pretend like it is fair. But at the end of the day, they have to perform or else this season is fucked. Like, I don't think it's out of the ordinary to think they might not win a game in October. Like, that's just how bad this team is without Connor Bedard. I don't think people realize that. Like, I think I sent you the Kraken roster. I think our roster's worse without Bedard. I'm so fucking serious. And like, I like, in a vacuum, I like some of the moves they made. Not going to help what the biggest problem on this fucking team is, which is they don't have another top line forward. And I love Anton Frondell. I hope he turns into it. Been watching his film again. I'm still very high on him. Been saying it since he's fucking drafted. It's Swedish Jonathan Taves if you fucking play him right. I'm not putting that expectation on the kid, though. Clearly the GM is. And it frustrates the fuck out of me, if I'm being honest. It really is so effing frustrating. And like, I'm not asking you to go spend 26 mil like San Jose did on guys who are over 30. Like, I'm not asking for that. I am asking for you to get a fucking running mate for this goddamn so-called generational talent that was gift wrapped to you. And now we can't even get this. Like, every interview I've seen from this front office where they just immediately beam about cancer off and think he's going to be the fucking answer on Bedard's wing. Like, I don't know if they've realized, like, we've seen the charts. The KHL is basically equivalent to the AHL right now. I'm not going to pretend like what he's doing was what Kaprizov and Panarin were doing. Like, he led the KHL in goals. That's a fantastic stat. Like, I hate that I have to be a pessimist right now, but I'm going to, because this team needs it right now, because there's no reason to be optimistic. There's not. There's not. And I'd love to be the guy that drinks the Kool-Aid and be like, oh, I want to see all these kids thrive. We have seen them try to do this at least 3 times in the last decade, and it has blown up in their face every time. Whether it's because they couldn't extend the kids, or whether it's they didn't ice the kids properly, or whether it's they rushed the kids too early twice. It's just frustrating, dude. It's frustrating. And we won't even get to see what this team could be till probably late October, early November. And that, like you said, is 12 to 15 games into the year. And most of that's going to be on the road because the Hawks like to play on the road in October. So, like, y'all better figure it the fuck out, or else you are digging yourselves in not everyone's going to be the Buffalo Sabres. Not everyone's going to be the St. Louis Blues. Not everyone is going to turn their fucking season around in December. Hell, you're not even going to be the 2019 Blackhawks who fucking dug themselves out of a hole and got to 500. You're just asking so much out of this group. Like, the only way I see them treading water is if Spencer Knight's got like a 925. And he's just fucking backpacking this team. And they're winning like 3-2 games, which they don't know how to do. So that's not going to happen. Like, there's so much that, like, we talked about the things that need to change with this team. Because they are closer than the eye shows. Like, if they learn how to close out hockey games, they're probably where San Jose is right now in terms of points. But guess what? It's still a bunch of fucking kids. Like, they have to learn these habits. So I don't know how they're going to learn these habits, but you would hope. I think of when Kane broke his, like, obviously it's a completely different team, but when Kane broke his clavicle, that Hawks team completely shifted the style of play that they had. Granted, the last time Bedard got hurt last year and Nazar got hurt, Hawks had to completely shift their style of play. Like, I think they were scoring like 2 goals a game, so they had to fucking shift it. But it's just like, how are you supposed to be optimistic about any of this right now? You don't even have the fucker signed.
Nope.
Oh my God. And I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about offer sheets.
No.
I bet he's been given half dozen offer sheets and he's fucking declined them with his fuck shoulder while he's sending reels. Like, you have the most blind, loyal player and you just won't fucking just pay him and get it over with. Like, whatever. It's such a frustrating offseason all around, but it's whatever. It's whatever. It just sucks that it's going to get all in like encapsulated by the one, like, I think I texted you 3 hours before Bedard got hurt. They have to prepare for shit like this to happen. And then I like we've
been saying on the podcast for months after that Bedard and Nazar got hurt within like a week or two of each other, that they have to prepare as if this is going to happen. Listen, if it was a one-off like freak thing, like Bedard only had been injured once, I'd be like, okay, yeah, but Bedard has been injured twice now, and then your second best forward had also been injured twice now, and that's sunk in 2 of your seasons that you've had with those guys. Like, you have to prepare that that's going to happen again, and it did. You, like, for better or for worse, we're gonna find out whether this whole thing is going to work. Like, we're going to find out real quick how good Byram is and if he's going to be able to live up to that $12.5 million contract. Yeah. We're going to find out real quick if Lev Shunov and Renzel can take steps, and we're going to find out real quick if Anton Frendel and Roman Kantarov can step in and be top 6 guys, and we're going to find out if Frank Nazar can like lead the charge for this team, because your far and away best player is out. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this in 2026, but like, I'm going to compare this to you're hoping what like the Chicago White Sox have with guys like Murakami, Montgomery, and Vargas right now are doing with them. That's what you're banking on with all these young guys to do, and you don't have your best player to do it. So yeah, it's almost just demoralizing, but we're almost used to it it feels like we're just used to it at this point. This decade has been torture with this Hawks teams, and yeah, I think I was texting you yesterday, if they somehow find a way to win 5 games, like, I don't know how many games they're going to play. We'll probably find out in a few days what the schedule is going to be like. But if they win any more than 5 games before Bedard is back, like, that's a fucking miracle. Like, I think I said, like, if it's 15 games and they somehow come out of the gate 6-8-1, like, holy shit. But yeah, we'll find out pretty quickly. And yeah, if this team once again is, like, they only win 2 or 3 games or for whatever, then I don't even know what you say. Like, the season's already lost. We're like, oh, we got another top 5 pick. Like, yeah, it's just so demoralizing that there's very little cause for optimism going into the season that they might be able to take a step and maybe push for a playoff spot like into January and February, and they're probably just going to be dead in December. They're probably going to be dead once the season starts. But yeah, I don't know much more you want to doom and gloom. I think we'll have plenty of time for that.
I mean, we're still got to doom and gloom. We haven't even talked about the Byram trade, so like. And honestly, like, we're 3 weeks past that point. I'm past the shock value of the sticker. Like,
yeah,
whatever. Like, it would have been you would have heard a lot of different shit come out of our mouths pre-draft. How I felt about that trade.
I'm glad we did not record that night, because when it broke, I sent you the Freach tweet and he said that trade talks between Chicago and Buffalo are intensifying on Byram. And I was thinking, okay, they're probably giving up one of their first for next year. And then it must have been close to an hour for all the details to come out. And then you see 4th overall, and you're like, just like, what the fuck? What do you even say to that? Like, I think you and I, especially me, because like going back to Byram's draft year, I think the Hawks should have originally drafted him. So it's funny to see, like, almost like 7-8 years later, now he's on the Hawks. But man, just in a vacuum, a horrible trade. And this just goes to the point of Kyle Davidson is banking on so many bets to take off. Like, with the 4th overall pick, you're hoping to get a well-established NHL player, and I guess Byram is that. Like, he is a top 4 guy, but the assets he gave up and the money you gave to him, you need him to be like a top pairing guy. I'm not even saying Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes. I'm texting you this. I think if he's Thomas Harley. Thomas Harley, he's not in that stratosphere of defenseman, but he's a guy who can get 15 points, play 25 plus minutes. He's sure getting paid like a guy who did it, and he's done that in the past. I think you're banking on Bowen-Byram to do that, and he hasn't quite done that. And granted, he has been behind guys like Cale Makar in Colorado. He's been behind Rasmus Dahlin, like two guys that are in the top 5 for NHL defensemen. But I think Scott Powers put it best in his article. Like, you're getting the car keys, and like there's no test drive. Like, you got it. This has got to work out immediately. And this goes back to, like, for better for worse, we're gonna find out if all this works. And like, if we're a month in and this team is just like, they've won only a couple games, 2 or 3 games, and like, I don't even know where you go from there. But yeah, I love Bowen-Byram, but the price they paid for him was so exorbitant. Like, at this point, I don't even care about the contract because the cap is going up so goddamn much. Like, last night, I made a list of defensemen like within the next few years that are guaranteed going to make more money than Bowen-Byram, and like Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes are eligible for extensions this offseason, and then next offseason, Werenski's a UFA. Matthew Schaefer, the reigning Calder Trophy winner, he is going to be an RFA. He's going to be eligible for an extension, and then the year after that, guys like Evan Bouchard, Adam Fox, and Miro Heiskanen UFA. So like, yeah, Bowen-Byram is briefly the highest paid defenseman in the NHL, but like, once he actually starts making that money, there's probably going to be at least a few guys that are making more money than him. Like, I don't even care about the money. I don't even care about the 4th overall pick at this point. I think the most disappointing part from that trade was trading Louis Crevier, because if they had just given up 4th overall and 45th overall, they'd just be like, okay, whatever. You didn't give up any roster players, and Louis Crevier was such an underrated part of this team last year. Like, yeah, he wasn't really like, he's not a top pairing guy, but I think on Buffalo he can be a number 4 guy, and like at points last year he was a second pairing guy. He led this defense and goals and points, and was a big part of that penalty kill, that great penalty kill last year. Like, the one good thing they seem to have. So yeah, now that's gone. Yeah, you're relying a lot on Bowen-Byram to be the top pairing guy, because guys like Lev Shunov and Korchinski and Renzel haven't taken steps, and then now you're wasting, I shouldn't say wasting, but like, you are now putting another like top 5-ish pick into you're paying a premium because you need a defenseman to be good, because Lev Shunov, all those guys haven't developed to what you wanted to be, and like, you haven't got any support for Connor Bedard. But yeah, I'm rambling on. What do you think about Bowen-Byram? Like, where are you at this point with the Bowen-Byram trade?
I don't like, my anger for the Byram trade now isn't even about that. It's the fact that they didn't address forward.
Yep.
Like, as soon as the Sabres took Dax Rudolph, I really didn't give a shit. Because, like, if the Sabres got Stenberg or Reed or some shit, like, yeah, I would have had to keep tabs on that. But, like, they took a guy
Reed
who
would
I'm
have probably
not...
been the interesting thing.
Yeah,
like, if
they took a guy
Reed,
who I'm not particularly high on. So that helped swallow the pill a little bit. Obviously, they traded the second for Zellweger. And then, like, I'm going to be honest, like, I've been diving into the last season for the Hawks. Like, do you know how many of Crevier's points came, like, the last month of the season? Like,
yeah,
almost, yeah. Like, it was a lot of garbage time points.
We had a 2-goal game. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I think Jesse Blake on the Dangle Pod makes the point all the time. Like, if you're out of the playoffs, it really doesn't fucking matter what you do in April, in March. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know what you're going to do in January in crunch time when this team needs you. Like, because that's what matters for the Hawks right now. Like, March doesn't really matter because you're already out of it. So, like, in that essence, you're probably selling high on a guy. But also, the guy shoots like 100 miles an hour. So, like, there's that part of the equation. Like,
I'm like, he's probably a bottom pairing guy. Like, you can find guys like that, but it's like, yeah, I think he's gonna go to Buffalo and maybe be their number 4 and be perfectly fine. So yeah, they might have sold a little high on him. I do like Louis Crevier, but yeah, I guess if you're anyone making fun of the Hawks, like, I don't want to be like, oh, would you be doing the same thing if San Jose got Byram and signed him? And like, I think the Rangers were in on him too. but like teams were clearly interested in Bo-Byram. It was not just the Hawks. So
the guy had 10 goals and 40 points playing second pair minutes and not top power play. Like, it's not, I keep telling you, like, we keep saying this, it's not ridiculous to think the guy could potentially have like 15 goals, 55 points next year, just off of opportunity on the power play alone. Like, he's the guy who's got the biggest opportunity on this team right now, because you want to show that you're worth that money. Fucking level the storm while Bedard's out for 15 games and figure out that power play while he's gone. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm very high on what he can do defensively. Like, you got to figure out his partner, whether it's Vlasic or Rinzel. I think that's what you're leaning towards right now. Just depends on if you want to put Vlasic on his offside, but it sounds like they want to go Vlasic, Byram, Kaiser down the left or whatever, or maybe Cole. I don't know. Like, Powers did his back lines and Cole was on the right with Vlasic. So like, I don't know what they're thinking. I would hope they're not going to run Kaiser Levshinov again. I would think you got Cole for Levshinov, but
you got to split them up.
That's neither here nor there. Yeah, like the contract, like anyone who listens probably knows who Donkey Sod 20 is. Like, he is pretty in when the Hawks make a trade. So like, he had Byram making 12 and a half. He had it times 7. So like, he was a year off, but like, he said that the second that trade got announced. And I was just like, all right, well, that sucks. That's gonna suck until the cap starts moving. And, we'll talk about a couple contracts later that got signed that are going to definitely help that cause. I know Byram's definitely helped on the back end, but, this is a guy who wanted to be a number one defenseman, clearly. And the spots he was looking to go, he was going to be a number one defenseman. And I think San Jose was rumored to be offering 14 times 4. So, like, it's clear he wanted big money. He wanted some term. And it wasn't going to be cheap to get. I think Butchergross said San Jose had 927 in a prospect. And I think that's what caused the Hawks to throw in Krejci. I think that's what Pat Boyle said and Charlie Roumeliotis. So, that's just how it goes at the end of the day. And, like, in a vacuum, we talk about this all the time. And I think I mentioned this to you with Crevier when we would like go over offseason things. I'm like, he's not Davidson's guy. So like that does fucking matter at the end of the day. And well, know it. First guy to go is not Davidson's guy. It'll be interesting to see the first time Davidson trades one of his guys, because he's going to have to do it this year. I think if you want to make an impact and like, yeah, you're in the forward market, quote unquote, you're going to have to move a piece to get someone. Like, I don't believe Shane Wright's just going to fall out of the sky. You know what I mean? I don't think Patrick Kane's going to fall out of the sky. Like, I mean, he might, but like, we'll get into that later. But like, at the end of the day, the Byram trade is what it is. I think I think where I settled with it, and I think this was like when we got to Toronto, was the guy they were going to draft when he was ready to be an impact player, not NHL ready, like impact NHL player. What was the best case scenario for Chase Reed? Like maybe 3 years?
I was thinking Chase Reed, like you are what Cale Makar did. You spent a full year in college, and then maybe next year, 27, 28, he finishes early and like joins the Hawks in a late playoff push. That's the absolute best case scenario, I think, for him.
And like, I'm going to speak from 2 weeks ago, but not right now. But like at the time, Hawks didn't really have time to wait 2 years. They still really don't, like even with the Bedard injury, but like they had to take a step this year. And to get a defenseman to where Byram is now is going to take too long. They need to get someone in the system. And they talked about it all offseason. All Powers kept bringing up is they're looking for a veteran defenseman on the back end. They're looking for a puck mover.
Well, they got both.
Yeah, they did. So only time will tell. This isn't going to be like Seth Jones. Seth Jones was actually a good defenseman defensively.
He had multiple years of being a top pairing guy. Like we said this when he got traded to Florida, like how his 2021 shortened season just completely fucked his perception.
50-game season fucked up his reputation. This is a guy who played an hour in a playoff game before. Listen, I have my gripes with Seth Jones. I don't think he was the best leader with the Blackhawks, but the guy was a fantastic defenseman for us. I'm not going to.
He's a top pairing guy.
Would have liked more points, sure, but like the guy was as advertised. And like, it's funny, you look at it now, 9.5 looks not terrible, but that's how the cap works. Like, we're probably gonna look at the Byram deal in 3 years and be like, oh, that's not that bad. Like you said, Schaefer's gonna be out in a couple years. Yeah, Makar, Hughes is gonna sign probably at the end of the summer, most likely. Like, yeah. So I don't know. I think
Freach said 18 times 3 for Quinn Hughes in Minnesota. Like, yeah, the cap is going up so much. Like, not just for defensemen, forwards are gonna get paid. We already saw the Carlson offer sheet. Like, again, we have so much shit to get into. I just think like we should get used to contracts going up, and I almost think we should look at contracts from cap percentage standpoint, because Byram's contract is essentially the same percentage of the cap that Seth Jones was back in 2021, but that didn't kick until the following off season in 2022. So yeah, with Byram, I said this, I think he needs to be on Team Canada in 2030 for this trade to be worth it, because again, I think you're putting a lot into it. Like, he's gonna get his points, he's gonna get the time. Like, I don't know what else there is to say with Byram, but like it's go time. I think he's gonna get the points. If he can just be even average defensively, then you're fine.
If you get 55 points and make Sam Renzel not look like a creator in his own zone somehow, like, I will love you forever. And I think that's very possible. Like, I think Byram is the perfect type of partner that can open up Renzel's offensive game, because like that's what Renzel needs to be at the end of the day. He needs to be a puck mover. I don't think he's going to be like the stalwart defenseman unless he puts on like 20 pounds and gets a physical edge out of nowhere.
That should be Vlasic. I hope Vlasic
just off. Like, if there's anyone who could bring a physical presence, it's actually Artie. If Artie just leaned into what he's good at, which is just being a fucking wrecking ball on the ice, like whatever. I don't know. Like, with the way the defense is set up now, I think you could put Levshunov in a very interesting position to do well next year. Like, I would put him on the third pair with Ian Cole, put him on the right minutes, give him some offensive zone starts, and like, because the guy, like, I'm watching some of the like I said, I've been going through last year's tape a little bit. This guy was making some fucking stupid passes last year. I don't think people realize how like lazy. I'm not gonna say lazily good, but it's like he's got the Kucherov effect where he's like, oh, he's just got the puck on his stick, and then he just whips it fucking 100 feet up the ice to Bedard, and it's a perfect pass. Like, he's got skill. It's just like we talk about all the time. It's right here. Like, you get to see it sometimes in the play breakdowns. Like, it's the hockey IQ, and sometimes that's harder to learn than like putting on muscle. So only time will tell with that. But the talent's there. So like, he's at the end of the day, your top four by the end of this year should probably be Vlasic, Byram, Renzel, Vlasic, Levshunov. Like, if that's how it works, that's your top four going forward. I don't think that's the worst top four in the world, especially if you're right-handed defenseman that you have touted very highly, and I still have pretty decent faith they're going to be top four defensemen. There's going to be room to grow on this back end. And that's not even mentioning Wyatt Kaiser, I think could be a great number 5 for you. So it's like, they got a decent amount of depth on the back end. It's funny how they were once heavy in right shots. Now they back down to 2. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from there. But I didn't mind the Byram trade. And I guess we should probably talk about like the 2 free agent moves they made. So like they got, I think you should talk about Cole Smith, because you made the point immediately about Mikheyev. Like,
that's all it is. It's good. Cole Smith is the Ilya Mikheyev replacement, and I know there is state tax involved with going to Tampa. I think he signed 4 years, 3.85. Like, I don't know if probably the equivalent would have been 4 years, 4.5 for the Hawks paying Mikheyev, but it sounds like they didn't want to go past 3 years, which I guess I get, but also I don't, because like Mikheyev has been a proven commodity. Like, no, he's not a top 6 guy, but he's a perfect third liner that you could stick alongside of guys like Oliver Moore and Ryan Green to be penalty killing guys and, contribute 15, 20 goals, kind of be a half a point per player kind of guy. But I also don't blame Mikheyev. Like, you're going to Tampa Bay, you're in a pretty good spot, you're making some pretty decent money, you got the term, you got the security, like go get the bag, king, you deserve it. But yeah, I can't help but think, man, if they just even gave him the extra year, he's probably still here in Chicago. And then I think you just pivot to Cole Smith, who has never scored more than 10 goals in the season, so you're not getting the offensive production that Ilya Mikheyev has gotten you in years past. But just looking at all the advanced stats and the charts, looks like he is a very good penalty killer, pretty good defensively, and also a great physical presence, which is what this team has lacked sorely, really, just this entire Davidson era. Like, you need some more big bodies in there. I've said this, I think you look at this like Bedard, Oliver Moore, like even Nicola, like those guys do want to get into the fight, but they're like sub 6 feet. You also just need some guys in there that are just wrecking balls that are like 6'3", 6'4", 200 plus pounds, and like it's not going to be a fun shift when you're out there because the Hawks have been way too easy to play against the last few years. I saw it. And like I was like, of course we signed Cole Smith before we get any actual top 6 forward help. And not that I think the Hawks were ever going to find that in free agency. Again, it was always going to be through the trade market. But yeah, as time has gone on, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. He's probably a bottom 6 guy. But yeah, if we see him in the top 6 sometime this year, I'm going to be pretty pissed. And like, and I guess kind of the same thing with Jordan Greenway with the Byram trade. He was also included in there. I think he's kind of also just like a Mikheyev replacement. You're kind of hoping that both of them can combine and take over that Mikheyev production. But I think you're also hoping that guys like Oliver Moore and Ryan Green can step up and kind of play that role, at least like the offensive production role. I don't know if they're going to be defensive stalwarts immediately, but yeah. I guess kind of just to wrap up the Byram trade, another thing, like if they got Jack Quinn or Payne Krebs in the trade, again, I would have felt better about it. But yeah, I feel like I'm just kind of that the trade has been done and over with. It's been 3 weeks almost. So yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm even fine with the moves they've made in free agency. I think Ian Cole is going to be a perfectly serviceable bottom pairing guy. He's going to help out with the penalty kill. Again, you lost Murphy and Crevier, who were a huge part of your penalty kill. So just getting a veteran guy on a 1-year contract who can play other side. He could probably sit for a few games, but I think he's the perfect partner for Lev Shunov. And I guess it's kind of a fool's errand to be projecting lineups this early on. But I think your top 4 is going to be some kind of combo of like, at least to start for me, like, and the lines I did, I have Vlasic playing with Byram. I'd be interested to see how that plays out. And Kaiser and Renzel, I think they had some pretty good stats sent off the year. I think I'd be interested to see if White Kaiser might even jump off and play his offside and play with Byram. Like they have options there on the blue line. I don't think you can play left shin off with Byram because I think that's gonna like give a lot of Hawks fans heart attack. They're basically the same player, like a rover type defenseman. I think you should keep them apart on separate pairings. But I think Scott Power brought it up in the Powers and Last podcast. He said that the last spot might go between Wyatt Kaiser and Kevin Korchinski, and at this point I just don't see a route for Kevin Korchinski making this team. I don't know what you do because I don't think you're gonna be able to find fair value for him on the trade market. So again, like within the first month of a season, we're gonna find out if Kevin Korchinski can, keep an NHL role, because I think it's between him and Kaiser is clearly showing that he has the inside track.
Well, yeah, he actually plays defense, so that helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The offseason moves are just whatever. Like, we're going to get into all the players that have been traded for only futures, and you'll slowly start to see why I just fucking lost it the first 5 minutes of the show. Like, all these moves in a vacuum are fine, but the one thing they still need, they have not addressed, and now it looks even more dumb on you. There's more egg on your face. But don't worry, guys. We got a fourth line that's going to hit the shit out of people. Get so excited. Cole Smith. Which, I do, I was the guy that was saying, if AJ Greer hits free agency, they should probably go get him. So, they technically did go address that to an extent, but, fuck, dude. Your bottom 6 is so bleak. It's not even funny. You're banking on, 2 reclamation projects and just a bunch of, whatever. I'm sound like a fucking beating a dead horse at this point, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I feel like the offseason moves were fine. Not great, but that's what the market was. And the market's it was clearly a fucking seller's market, but I don't know. How do you look at that and not be disappointed? And especially after what just happened a week ago.
It's incredibly disappointing. I don't mind the offseason moves, but I just think with last year, they probably wanted to make a move for a top 6 forward, but last year I remember it was, all we want is NHL ready players. And the Hawks didn't really have that last year, unless you're trading one of your high-end guys like a Frank Nazar or Anton Frendel, and I sure as hell know they didn't want to do it then, and they're not going to do it now. I think what frustrated both you and I and pretty much all the entire Hawks fan base this year is that guys, young forwards, wingers got traded exclusively for futures, and you did absolutely nothing again. Like, rattle off so many moves that happened. The Pavel Dorofeyev trade, completely futures. It was like, what a late first round pick. Peterka traded completely.
Peterka's the one that I think is unforgivable. I'm sorry. Like, we knew he was on the market. It went for only futures. You could have done that.
Oh, but they're in the same division. Dallas
Brady Tkachuk just went in division. Like, I don't want to hear this shit.
Yeah, no,
like,
I'm tired of this.
Oh my
god,
any man up.
Any excuse of we don't have really much NHL ready players. Teams don't want to trade draft picks. Well, even then we have guys in the division. We don't want to trade in division. Like, all of that has just been squashed within the last few weeks, and that's the most frustrating part. And I don't know, maybe they're keeping their powder dry for Jason Robertson, but like the more like, but
don't at what point don't do that to yourself. Don't.
Oh no, I'm not. I don't.
I was like, don't do that to yourself.
No, trust me, believe me. Like, what we've been through.
Isn't he already in arbitration? Like, you can't even get him if you want him. You can't trade for him after he gets, like, they're walking him to free agency. Like, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
That whole situation, we're going to get into that later. That whole situation is a fucking gong show. And also, he looks like a genius for declining that 15 mil times 8 from Seattle. He looks like a fucking genius right now. But yeah, we'll get into that. Price of the brick's going up. That's all I got to say. Price of the brick.
No, I did not want to be like, yeah, I'm putting my faith in Jason Robertson. I'm just thinking maybe that's what the front office is thinking. But yeah, like, I feel like that has kind of come to pass. Like,
the front office is just,
there's always going to be names available, but I think the thing that's like, at least with the Byram trade, Davidson was like, fuck it, we need a top 4 guy, and we went out and got him. Yeah, the price was exorbitant, but you got it. At some point, you gotta be like, fuck it, we gotta get a top 6 winger for Connor Bedard. Like, yeah, there might be this guy available next year, but we know there's these guys at the market. Like, sometimes you just gotta pounce on that opportunity, maybe overpay. But yeah, like, I look at a Pavel Dorofeyev and Peterka, all those guys that got traded straight up for draft picks. Like, if you were able to make a move for a top 6 winger without sacrificing any of your young guys or any of your future besides draft picks, then you should have done it, and they didn't. And the moves they made were decent, but not doing that is just a complete failure. And again, once again, we're going to be saying this. Oh my God. We've been saying this. We're going to keep saying it. You are putting just way too much pressure on all your young guys to perform. At least and like, at the end of the day, you need your young guys to perform. You needed Bedard to stay healthy. And well, that's not happening. But at least Davidson at his end of the year press conference going to be like, hey, we believe in this core so much. We got them a top 4 defenseman with Byram. We got them a top 6 winger, and we believe we're ready to take a real step this year. And instead, in the press conferences, we're like, well, Roman Kancherov is kind of our
Ryan
big
Green's
addition
a year
for
older.
Connor Bedard. Ryan Green's and instead, that's what we get. Incredibly frustrating.
Like, I've never seen a guy so confident after finishing second last 3 years in a row. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Dude, I've never seen a front off. Like, how are they allowing this? If
you were winning Stanley Cups,
who's going to go to the games? Who's going to go to the games? How are you going to make money?
Everyone's still going to go to the games. That's the fucking problem. It's true.
I don't like. At this point, why do fans still want to go to the games when this team has not made any improvements?
I'm over talking about.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that.
And like, we haven't even gotten into the draft. Like, they drafted your favorite player in the draft. They got Villeneuve. Like, that was like your dream going in, and it just doesn't fucking matter. Like, it's just like, who cares?
Oh, we'll have Will Scouch on sometime next week. Yeah, like, we're gonna have Scott Powers on. Maybe, I don't know how much clarity we need, but like, we'll definitely be able to really get into the nitty gritty of all the Hawks moves and non moves, and we'll be able to talk about Xavierville. Like, I like their draft. it reminds me of like 2021. If they walked out with Seth Jones and Logan Stankoven, I would have been fine. And this was the other end of it. Yeah, they didn't get Chase Reed or any of the other top defensemen, but like shit, you got a first around like top half quality guy with your 34th overall pick. Took a chance on a guy who might have been a first, like, who was touted as a top 10 guy going into the year. Like, I think what's the director scouting name? Mike Donaghy, I think his name is. He said it was like a Brandon Saad situation with Ryan Rubrick. Like, he was touted as a top 10 guy going into the year and kind of just had a meh year. A lot of inconsistencies, and then like Brandon Saad was in the NHL within a year or two. Like, great draft. They made the most of those draft picks, even after trading 4th overall, 45th overall. Samu Aliari, I don't even know how to say his name. Like, that seems like a great pick at the beginning of the 3rd round, but yeah, it almost just feels like don't want to talk about it because everything else is just like, what's the point of celebrating it, you know? But in a vacuum, I thought they did a pretty good job with what they had to refill the defensive, or like refill the pipeline. They needed to get defensemen back in their system because they've kind of been slowly losing it. They traded Crevier, and not that I think they're ever going to be top 4 guys, but like, you've lost Nolan Allen as well. Like, that could have been a guy playing on your bottom pairing. So they needed to restock the defensive depth in their pipeline, because forwards there are perfectly fine. Like, they're going to have a bunch of guys coming up from Rockford, and again, they are going to get the chance with the Connor Bedard injury. But I like to think that they completely like have their left side set in place. If Villeneuve can pan out and even be something close to what Hudson is, like, you got Byram, Villeneuve, and Vlasic. If that all pans out, it's pretty good left side. But
yeah, no, like, and like you said, in a vacuum, like they did exactly what we kind of wanted them to do in the draft, which is restock the back end. Like, I think we knew they were going to take a couple defensemen. I was big on Golier, and they didn't get Golier. But then when I saw Samu, I was like, all right, that's kind of what I wanted in Golier. It's just a big body defenseman. Like, he's like 220 already. Like, he's just like, they need some big bodies on the back end right now. Like, you have a lot of like tall guys that are puck movers, but they need big. Yeah, they need bruisers. They need at least
hammers. They need wrecking balls.
Like, for every Shea Theodore, you need a Braden McNabb. That's the way I like to look at it. And I think like you can have a balance of that with how they've drafted. My whole thing is just like, I remember my dad texted me. He's like, so what do we think of the Hawks draft picks? I'm like, well, they picked a Lane Hudson clone. They picked an Alex Nylander clone. So do with that what you will. Like,
could be Brand Saad, could be Alex Nylander, Lucas.
I'm leaning towards the latter. Right. Like, I just the things that he has not developed don't ever come up, which is drive and, you know, wanting to actually put your body on the line. Like, all I got out of his tape is looks like Tarzan plays like Jane. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love for him to turn into fucking Jamie Benn like he thinks he can be, but like, I just don't see it right now. So I love Villeneuve. Also, though. He's electric.
They're fine to take a swing like for Rubrick because they just have like, so many guys. Yeah.
I said at the time, either him or Preston. Like, I'm glad they're swinging for ceiling, especially since you didn't have a first round pick. But like, I'm just a little more skeptical on Robrick because, like, as the year went on, he didn't take the steps I was looking for. But who knows? Maybe Will Scouch will have some information on that I don't see him, you know, the little bit of film I've watched on him. You know, my Chud scouting analysis over here. But no, but it was good. It was a fine draft. Like you said, they're so deep at forward right now. Like, this is why I don't mean to keep going back to them trading for a forward, but it's like, you can't ice all these forward prospects. At the end of the day, some of them are going to have to go while they still have value. Like, I don't know. Like, I think Power said it best. Like, the guys like Spellacy, Boisvert, and Van Acker are all competing for one spot right now. So, like, in theory, probably want to trade high on one of them. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. I know they were back on ice for development camp, which is funny. You know, after all the fun prospects get through, now we get all Chuds on the ice. Like, that's awesome. They literally wanted an excuse to not put Bedard on the ice his rookie year. That's literally all it was. Oh, we're going to do off development ice. Like, fuck you guys. Just do what every other team does and put your kids on the ice and have them do drills. It's not hard. Like, every other team does it. Every other team does scrimmages, but no, we have to do a Gordon Ramsay chef class. Like, just fuck off. Like, and I know
yes, chef.
I know every rookie camp does it. Like, I think like the Oilers had their guys on like what are the swan boats or whatever. Like I've seen some funny videos, but it's just like,
I think you should do stuff like that. I think
you should, but like the fact that was all they were doing for 3 years before this. Like, they weren't going on the ice. Like, that's so fucking annoying. Like, I don't know. And it's fine. Like, obviously the Hawks have a great development staff. Like Rockford, like they just got like staff of the year or some shit. Like I've never had a problem with the Blackhawks crew and like how they operate like off ice. It's just like, it does help to see all your kids on the ice at once and see them against each other and see how things shake up. Like, it's nice to see how fucking fast Spellacy is against the kids sometimes. You know what I mean? Which, like, that's a guy who probably can make the roster. Him and Savoy are like my wild cards right now. Because if they bring something that none of these guys can bring, which is speed and tenacity, fuck, that got Landon Slaggert a job for 2 years in the NHL. Like, it's not that hard to get a fourth line role that way. So I'm curious. Like, Camp is getting, like, I'll spin zone it a little bit since I've been such a fucking negball this show. Camp is going to be more fun than it's been in the last 4 years. Easily. Probably since 21-22 when we really had to decide who was making that team out of like the Borgstroms and the Gaudettes and stuff. Because like there's legit I know. But like there's legit competition in the bottom six. Like that's where we're at right now. Like there's a legit case where Boisvert makes it out of camp this year. There's a case where, Van Acker makes it out of camp. There's a case where Spellacy makes it out of camp. Savoy. Like hell, like Kevin Korchinski could just steal a roster spot, like you said earlier. Like, there's a lot of interesting storylines. Like, for only having 4 preseason games, those are going to be very important for Jeff Blashill, I think, to figure out what he wants with this team. I know they have their prospect tournament still, too. I think they're doing that with St. Louis this year. But, like, yeah, you got to figure out how you're going to weather the storm. So, like, this training camp is probably the most important training camp of the Bedard era, I'd say, and he's not even here. That should tell you how important it is. So, I don't know. It's all on the coaches now. Like, unfortunately, these are the cards you're dealt, Blashill. So you got to make it work. You got to figure out where these chemistries lie. You know where they were last year to an extent. You know Nazar and Lardis have chemistry. You know Moore and Lardis have chemistry. You know Frondell and Bertuzzi have chemistry. Work with that how you can. Fucking makeshift this lineup and let's fucking tread water until the star player comes back.
At this point, put all your young players together, see what they got. I swear to God, if we see Jordan Greenway and Cole Smith in the top 6 again, even Ryan Green.
Okay,
like, no.
I'm going to be honest with with Bedard being hurt. I think it's a legitimate possibility. It's Bertuzzi, Frondell, Greenway. I'm serious. Like, it's either that or Donato. They're going to have a crash and bang line. They have to. Like, I don't think Teravainen's the guy you put on that line.
Nah.
I don't think Lardis is either because no one's going to get him the puck. So maybe it's Kanserov. Like, I did say for a while, I think that could work. Bertuzzi, Frondell, Kanserov. Like, because Kanserov kind of creates on his own too. So I don't know. Do you think they put Kanserov at center now because Bedard's hurt? Like, I know he has the capability to.
It's an option for them. Yeah,
I'd probably put more there first, but
they still have positional versatility, which is good. Like, they can mix and match the lineups however they want to. Like, you just got to find a combination that can keep you from drowning and create some offense. That's
and I hate
hard to come by.
I hate to defend Davidson, but like even if Ryan Green can do 30 points again, that's a win. Because like he won't be playing with Bedard this year. So if he can get 30 points again, that's a huge win. Like that gives you a lot of positional versatility in your middle 6 if he could just be like a 35-point guy. Him or more. I think I texted you that. Like if one of those guys can become a 35, 40-point guy, that makes that look a lot different. Because I think Lardis is going to be like a 35-point guy this year. Like maybe he's more, maybe because he scores more in the power play, but like I don't know how he's going to get ice this year. Although it sounds like when everything's healthy, they want to put him with Bedard and Kanserov. So like that sounds fun, but like I don't know. I think you and I talked about it. Like I would love to see him back with Nazar and Bertuzzi and just rock that second line and throw Frondell with like maybe this would work out in the Hawks' favor because like I know they want to test Frondell at center and like if that doesn't work, fucking glue him to Bedard's wing as soon as he comes back, or vice versa. Maybe Bedard's on his wing because, like, last time he came back from the shoulder, he wasn't taking faceoffs. So, I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
And, like, yeah, they're going to be able to mix and match, like, have a lot of positional versatility. A lot of the questions we asked I think are going to be answered pretty quickly. So, like, again, for whether better for worse, like, if this thing does not work out, it's not going to work out, but, like, I feel like we'll be mostly vindicated with how everything works out. In like kind of the first month or so, like, yeah, there's only 4 preseason games, like you said. Like, yeah, from mid-September to mid-November, those 2 months there are going to be crucial. See what you have, see what works out.
Yeah, and I'll be somewhat not a doomer. Well, I guess it's me being a doomer, but like there's like 3 guys in this top 6 next year that I really fuck with. If the Hawks are gonna bottom out again. So like, and this is if they're gonna suck, holy shit, Nazar Privolov's gonna make that feel a lot better. Or Landon DuPont. But like also
get ready to learn another right-handed defenseman. Woo!
I mean wait, is DuPont a righty? I thought he was a lefty.
Yeah, he's a righty.
Ooh, okay. That's actually intriguing. But and he's at Michigan this year. I can't wait to see what he does at Michigan. That's gonna be like he was dirty. Like, have you watched DuPont a little bit? He was disgusting at in Everett. And like Privolov, I think, is like I was texting Jacob, like Nazar Privolov has a Mikko Rantanen build, but he plays like Ovechkin. Do with that what you will. Like, do with that what you will. Like, I don't like that is exactly what the Hawks need if we're gonna suck. I like Sergei Svorskov too. He's got a fucking sick shot out of Russia as well. Like, there's guys in the draft, if they end up sucking, I'd like them to not be in that spot. I'd like it to be like a San Jose thing where they're like finish 8th and jump to 2. That'd be awesome. But like, just win some fucking hockey games, man. We said it once. We said it 3 years in a row. We're going on year 4. Can we get 30 wins? No.
The road to 30 continues. Fucking what is this? 4. Yeah, this is the 3rd year now.
You know, most teams, it's like, yeah, guys, year 4 of trying to get out of the first round. It's like, nah, we just need 30 fucking goddamn wins. Like, the Canucks have fallen into that in the last couple years. The Flames have fallen into that twice in the last couple years. Like, it's just...
I think every team has.
It's embarrassing. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the draft right now. Like, we'll cross that bridge once they get to like how worse they're getting. They'll be picking inside the top 10, probably top 5, and they're gonna get someone good. I'm not really worried about that. All I can say is I hope it's forward heavy because god damn it, they still like at the end of the day, you still need a running mate for Connor Bedard.
I mean, obviously we're a year out. Landon DuPont's the only defenseman in the top 10. So, but obviously that changes. But it is a heavy forward class. Like, I know this was the heavy D class. Next year's the heavy forward class. Like, it's like
good.
Yeah, because it's like him, it's Joseph, it's Carter Mayer out of the development team. Like, there's a guy coming out of almost every system next year, which is interesting. So
you got a Q guy again. Maybe they just start taking Quebec guys to.
Bro, he's 6'5", 201. Like, he's a big Quebec. Like, I need to see him tear up the Q though. Like, he had 60 and 54 as a 16-year-old. I want to see him fucking tear it up as a 17-year-old. That would impress me. Like, I need higher than Lafreniere numbers from Joseph for me to be intrigued. Because like as of now, it's Team Privolov. But yeah,
even with that contract, but also like I think. With Privolov, like you could probably get him out of his contract like Michkov and Demonov. So
that's what I'm not worried about him signing a 5-year deal in Russia. Yeah. Demonov got out of that the first year because he was like, oh shit, I can go play.
Those are malleable. I can
go play with Cole Caulfield. I'll go do that.
Yeah, I can go play with Connor Bedard and my fellow countrymen. Yeah, like
dude, oh my god, Privolov Bedard cancer off. Just like if that's the price for a like gong show of a season, then whatever. But we'll cross that bridge.
Yeah, Bedard, like he would just become an honorary Russian. That would be the KGB unit.
Honorary Russian is crazy. He's like fucking oh my god. Can't even remember the player. He's like Ryan Whitney when he went to the KHL. Or Tim Stapleton, whatever.
I guess to put a non-doomer spin, like I think a lot of people were like, this Byram, like Kyle Davidson, this Byram trade is gonna define his whole general manager tenure. And I'm like,
Lev Shinoff's defining his tenure, buddy.
Yeah.
Not that.
Yeah. Well, that and also like, I think they'll be fine. Like it's gonna be another shitty year, I think, unless they just somehow weather the storm. And it sucks going into another year where it's like, well, there's no hope, but at least it's like, okay, I'm not expecting anything like really this year. I'm not expecting anything more is cherry on top. Like they have 3 first-round picks next year. They're probably gonna get another top 5 pick. Like they still have so much depth in their forward pool. They were able to replenish it or like replenish their defensive pool this year. Like yeah, like it's a mixed bag so far, especially with the draft picks, but like they're fine. I think my thing is like, is Davidson the guy to lead them to the next step? I don't know. I don't think so. He hasn't shown it yet, but I do think like just big picture, there might be a new GM to come in and like be able to push this thing forward, and then like Davidson kind of looks like a retroactive genius for all the draft picks he made. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
There's a lot of ways this season can go, but like I'll be the hopeful guy for 5 seconds. There's a world where Frondell and Kanserov live up to the hype. They're like 50, 60 point guys. Nazar takes a step. Bedard comes back and doesn't skip a beat, and Byram takes a step, and this team is a legitimate better.
Spencer Knight's a Vesna guy. Yeah.
He doesn't even need to be that. He just needs to be what he was last year. If all that happens and Spencer Knight's what he was last year, the Hawks are winning more games than they're not. Like, it doesn't take much to put this team over the top. It's just immense expectations on a lot.
That's why we're so frustrated that they haven't.
But, like, there is a world where they do what the 2017 Leafs do, and their kids just pop the fuck off their first year. And fuck, the Ducks did it last year. The Ducks core was a 21-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 22-year-old. And they all had 60-plus points. And they were surrounded by veteran talent. They had a 22-year-old on the back end that popped off. Like, there's a world where they could do what Anaheim did if they play their cards right. They don't have the veterans on the back end like Anaheim did. That's the only thing they don't have. I'm just saying. Like, there are worlds where this could be a very positive outcome for the Blackhawks. It just takes a lot going their way. And if you can get half of that to go your way, I think that's going to make guys like you and me happy, because that means they're going to take a step. But if you get a lot of it to work, like, hell, I'll take one step further. If Levshinov's one of the only guys that takes a step on this team, that makes this team automatically better. Because if you have 4 legitimate defensemen back there, and then you have Ian Cole and Kaiser as your afterthoughts, back end looks completely different than it does last year. Like, the key to this season is still Frondell and Levshinov. If those two take steps, this team looks completely different. Guys. And also, I think Nazar needs to become a 55-point guy, which I am very confident in he can do, especially since he's going to get more ice time right now. But yeah. Let's get to camp. Like, what, month and a half away, I think. Like,
it'll be here sooner than we think it will. Like, probably still 2 months away, but yeah, that's gonna fly by so quickly.
Very quick.
Yeah, and for all the question marks, I believe so much in Nazar. I think that contract is so good, and I think he'll take a step in.
I will say, Pierce and I love the joke every time the Dangle Pod's on. It's like, all right, time for our weekly humiliation ritual about the Blackhawks. But they were looking at their cap sheet and saw Nazar's contract, and they were like, holy shit, that's tidy business. I was like, yeah, Davidson sometimes pulls something out of his ass every now and then. Like, and I'll be honest, like, I think this Bedard deal is going to look better than people think. Like, I think this injury is going to knock it down at least $1 million. Like, it probably knocks the term down a year too, but like, I think he's going to sign for like 17 times 5 or 16 times 5. Like, I think that's what it's going to be.
I told you this. He's going to find a way to shoehorn his number into the contract. And I said 98 over 6, and it's like 16.3. Like, I think we could see something.
I'd fuck with that. Honestly, like, if it's anything under Carlson, we're laughing. Like, I'm in the camp of like, we could give him the max and we'll just figure it out. But like, I don't think he's going to get the max now after the shoulder, unfortunately. No. Like, it's funny. No. If you talked to us a week ago, we'd say Kyle Davidson's a fucking moron because, like, didn't get the deal. He still is to an extent. I would have got the deal done. But to be fair, Bedard doesn't want to negotiate. Like, they both know where they want to end up. It's just like, there's no rush. But at the same time, I know Bedard's agent's fucking kicking himself right now. Like, both ways. Because one, the brick went up. But 2, your guy just got hurt in the offseason when he needs a new contract. Like, I don't know. Like, does he sign that contract before camp? Or does he sign it on his birthday next week?
It could just be all ruse, and like, yeah, everything's fine. He gets named captain, and sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Gets his contract too. Yeah.
Fuck.
That'll happen. I'd be very shocked if he isn't named captain. Like, what if the game he comes back, he's named captain, and they have like a huge ceremony when he gets. Yeah,
that'd be sick. Because I think it's him and then Bertuzzi and Vlasic were the A's next year, or maybe Cole gets an A. Like, I don't know how they're going to divvy up the leadership next year, but I know Bedard and Bertuzzi are going to have letters. I would have to imagine. I mean, if they bring back a certain number 88, he's probably getting a letter too. But like, I'll believe that when I see it. But there's more smoke than there was a week ago on that. So like, I think you texted me the other day, like they would instantly make a shit ton of jersey sales if they did that. And you'd get
I think you would get,
on your side.
I was going to say, I think you would get so many fans, like a huge majority of fans back in your good graces if you sign Patrick Kane.
And like,
I really do.
Patrick Kane really has to be salivating because like his choices both are going to get him a shit ton of points. Because like Chicago, just like look at the pieces they have. They have so many shooters that just need someone to get them the puck. Like, you put him with a Bertuzzi, you put him with a Lardis, you put him with a Frondel. Like, Kane's gonna find those guys. Vice versa, you put him with a guy like Josh or Jack Quinn or Josh Stone or something like that, or Tage Thompson. Like, that's gonna be disgusting. Like, I could see why Kane's kind of weighing his options right now, but like, I think you and I have said it time and time again. This is gonna come down to if Kyle Davidson could swallow his pride, because like he made that call. That wasn't Patrick Kane's call to send him out the door, and like. Pat Boyle made that point. Frank Saravalli made that point this week. Like, it's going to come up to Kyle Davidson if he's coming back, because I think he would be open to it. And you have a fucking hole right now to try to weather the storm. Like, yeah, I know they have like 15 forwards if they sign him, but it's very easy to.
You figure it out.
You could bury a Mangiapane. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not.
You can put Slaggert on waivers. Like, if that's what's the issue, then like. You need to who's the Jets guy who I keep bringing? Is it Jamal Adams where he just gets locked out of it? Yeah, like that's what you need to do if that's your issue. We don't want to lose Mangiapane or Slaggert on waivers because we want to bring back Patrick Kane.
And plus, like, this guy won 3 cups. I don't think he's ring chasing anymore. I think he's point chasing. Like, I think that's what he wants.
He's done everything. I think the guy just wants to like settle down. He has settled down in Detroit, as much as I hate to say it, but like he's gonna come back to Chicago, and I think he's just gonna have fun. Like, I think that's all he wants at this point.
Like, yeah. Like, I remember everyone was worried when he got to Detroit, like, oh, he's gonna mess up the whole locker room. Like, he just kind of found his niche on that team. Like, he didn't
he just kind of went there. Yeah,
he just went to the second line and played with Cat and like Cop and stuff. Like, I just think like if he got here and you put him on the second line with Frondel and Bertuzzi, or you throw him with Bedard, like you could do that too when he comes back. I just think this team would probably work better if they're on the power play together and 5-on-5 separate. Oh, yeah. But like also, you have to put them together 5-on-5. We have seen what Kane does with DeBrincat and Panarin. If he's got a shot like that on his left side, like I can only imagine what he would do slinging that shit to Bedard, even at like 38. He still has that pass. Like, it's the only thing he doesn't have is his foot speed anymore. Everything else is still there.
Had it anyways. Like, his game has never been on foot speed. It's been like processing speed and just like picking apart defenses and
knowing the play through plays before it happens. Like, him and Kucherov are the best examples.
The hockey IQ.
They manipulate the fuck out of the game. And let's be honest, the Hawks really don't have a forward like that outside of Connor Bedard right now. Like, I think Frondel can do that. Like, we've seen that with him, like the little bit we've seen of his game, but like get a guy like Kane in there that eases the waters a lot more. And like, it's going to be different than it was when like Vlasic was a rookie and Kane was there. Like, these guys have been here for a while. Like, it's not like, they're going to look up to him, but it's not like everyone's got to turn to him for an answer type.
They've established their own leadership at this point.
And that was their concern before. I understand that. But, like, this is Bedard's team now. Like, he is, like, he called Byram from the fucking golf course when he got traded.
I was going to say, this is like Byram's team now as well. Like, he's, like, called upon to be the guy, and his attitude of coming to Chicago, like, he clearly wants to be the guy. Like, he maybe doesn't have the track record.
It sounds like.
Yeah, I think he was pretty pissed off when they didn't pick him 3rd overall. And, I mean, him and I have some stuff in common. But yeah, like maybe he doesn't have the track record of a Seth Jones, but I think he has a hell of a lot better attitude than Seth Jones did when he came here. So yeah. You want guys that want to be in Chicago, and Patrick Kane wants to come back. Bring him back. Just looking at his years in Detroit.
Hey, in a vacuum, you get your top 4 defenseman and your top 6 forward. At the end of the day, I wouldn't be able to complain. Got what I wanted. And in a vacuum, like, got what I wanted. Because, like, they still need a top 6 forward. And, like, his 55, 60 points he would add would do so much for this team. Like, I don't think people realize there were 2 players over 50 points last year. There were 3 over 40. Like, they need people to take steps offensively.
They just need any Patrick kind Kane of offense they can get.
What's the thing? Rising tide lifts all boats. That's what Kane's going to do to the offense. Hell, put him on the third line with Moore and Lardis. Like, he'll just fucking tear it up with them. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't see a world where bringing him back is a bad thing for trying to make your hockey team better, which should be the goal right now. But, you know, morals, even though you just signed a sex pass as a defenseman, but that's neither here nor there. Like, this is what I'm saying, though. You can't have a moral high ground anymore.
No, you can't pick and choose that stuff.
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole. That was low hanging fruit, but like, it's true. It's true.
Banged
You can't
reporter.
say you're a better team. Whatever.
Yeah, Patrick Kane since going to Detroit, 23-24. He had 47 points in 50 games, and that was after his surgery. And it was like, he might never not play again. Casually,
He had the
like
hip resurfacing. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. 24-25. I think this is what you could get out of him this year. He had 59 points in 72 games. The big thing, 12 power play goals, 29 power play points. Whereas last year, 57 points in 67 games. He only had 2 power play goals, but 19 power play points. So yeah, shooting percentage was a bit down, 9.5 compared to 12% and 13.6 to the previous years. But yeah, I think any like amount, like 47 points, 59 points, 57 goals, like around 20 goals, any of that would be so welcome with this team.
Dude, and he makes a guy like Frondell so much better. Like,
you make everyone there so much better.
Any one of those centers, he's going to make better.
Offensively.
Fuck it. Throw him with Ryan Green. We'll give Ryan Green the elite treatment that he deserves. But I just, you know, the way this team's set up. And like, I don't blame him if he chooses Buffalo. I'd be happy for him. No, Jacob would probably fucking hate it, but the team will be better if he's there. Like, that power play will be so fucking disgusting with Kane and Thompson and Dahlin. Like, holy shit, that's going to be gross. Like, who would you play him with in Buffalo? Do you put him with Thompson 5-on-5, or do you put him with like Quinn on the third line with like McLeod and just go?
I would probably shelter him a bit more. Maybe,
yeah,
because like even in like I think with the Hawks fully lineup, I don't. Yeah, you may say fucking and put with Bedard, but I almost think he would be better like on a second line, third line. Like again, you're hoping one of Frondell or Kanserov, one of those guys is playing with Bedard, and maybe like you put like split Kane, maybe put him with Frankie on the second line, like. Again, it just gives you a lot of options, but yeah, I don't know if you're putting Bedard with Kane. At least 5-on-5 power play, absolutely. Or
the aura of fucking Nazar and Kane.
Dude, they could run
goals.
that. Holy shit! They could run that line at the end of the game. Kane, Bedard, and Nazar, and like both with Byram out on the ice, like insane hype moments.
Put Bird out there as a net front. Let's just get crazy. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, It makes the power play better too. You'd have 2 legit power play units if you do that. Because, like, you could put Kane on the top one, and then you'd have one of like a Nazar or a Frondell or a Kanserov on the second unit. So it's like with Lardis. So and they need the power play to be better. I don't think people realize how bad the power play was at the end of last year. It was great, like the first month of the year, and then the book was out on them, and they didn't change it. So.
Do you need any advantage you can get? Hopefully their penalty kill doesn't crater. Like, hopefully it's still like a top 10. I don't know if it'll be a first overall.
I don't think it's going to be 90% or whatever it was, or 86%. Like, it was ridiculous. It was last year.
98% would be fucking crazy, man.
No, it was like
85%.
Right? Yeah, it was like
85 or 86. Yeah.
But like, they were the best penalty kill in the league. And like, every time they took a penalty, I was like, I felt like I'd blink and the penalty was over.
You know what? Fair's aura farming to get it up again. You know, I respect it.
Yeah, right. Regression to the meme just to get it back up, you know. But
yeah, the power play sucked. And again, you need any advantage you can get because 5-on-5 is going to be rough. But yeah, if you add Patrick Kane to your power play, any power play opportunity you get,
with a good penalty kill. And like 3-on-3, he's going to be good. Shootouts, he's going to be good, which they fucking need so bad. Like, if you can roll out Kane, Bedard, Lardis as your 3, you shouldn't lose a shootout. In theory, you probably shouldn't, because Lardis is sneaky good in the shootout. He's got that, like, that one move's worked 3 times now. So I don't know.
Yeah,
you got to take a lot of things into
overtime.
You got to
shootout. Any advantage you can get, and not just like 5-on-5 hockey.
Dude, you're probably look at the losses they had last year. How many overtime losses did they have? How many shootout losses did they have?
21 goals games. Yeah,
that's the shit where Kane's gonna help. Like, yeah, he's gonna have his game where he fucking, I think the best example is like the game against the Wild last year, where they came back down 4-1 and he took like the worst penalty I've ever seen him take, and they lost the game.
Dude, I would be pissed if I was a Red Wings fan. Like I would. That was a
Dude, you see the
horrible penalty to
Kaprizov goal,
take.
and you see all 15,000 people go, "What the fuck?" Like you see them
Yeah.
all throw their hands up, like,
Yeah, like the Magic Johnson gif. Oh,
literally, no, 15,000 people just go, "Oh," but
yeah. Don't count
like,
on
yeah,
it.
there's gonna be games like that. But guess what? There's games like that already with this team. It doesn't matter. Like, you know how many times I've seen Bedard do that last season? Like, it happens, man. I don't really care. I need to win more hockey games.
I agree.
Like a broken record.
Yeah, I think a lot of those questions that we have are going to be answered by Scott Powers next week. Like any questions regarding the Bedard contract, like maybe how they roll the lines next year, and if there truly is something to Patrick Kane come back to Chicago, because I don't think Laz and Powers are just going to put Patrick Kane's name in an article just to put his name in an article. So like there's clear they got to be discussing it at least.
Yeah, the conversations had to have been had. Fucking, I can't imagine they haven't been. Like, there's no way. I mean, he doesn't really have a rush to sign, to be fair. Like, he's gonna get whatever he wants. Like, and he's signing a 1-year deal, but like, I don't know, man. It'd be pretty cool if you did. Be a lot cooler if you did. Make not having your star player for a couple months more palatable.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Maybe make it more entertaining. Maybe not necessarily better, but
maybe give the fans reasons to go to the game. I don't know. Just a thought. Like, I think it'd be pretty fucking cool if Kane's on the team and Keith's number gets retired. Just saying. Pretty sure that's happening.
Taves back for a 1-day contract because he retired.
Be pretty cool. Be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever.
It all comes down to this: a best-of-7 battle, and DraftKings has you covered every step of the way. The DraftKings Sportsbook app is now available in all 50 states and includes all markets. Sweat every shift of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers, sign up with code THPN, spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code THPN in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, that text pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings Predictions involves risk of loss. Sportsbook bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Yeah, we just spent an hour and 10 minutes on the Hawks, and we still have so much to get to. I think the best way is to go chronological order. I think we recapped just about everything we could on the Hawks, and we did our average thing with the Hawks, where it's like we're all doom and gloom, and they're like, maybe it's not the worst, but it could be a lot better. Originally, I wanted to like loop this trade in, Brady Tkachuk with the Byram trade, because in 2017, there was that big three-way trade between the Colorado Avalanche, Ottawa Senators, and Nashville Predators, where the Colorado Avalanche got Sam Girard, the Ottawa Senators got Matt Duchene, and the Nashville Predators got Kyle Turris out of it. Colorado got a first-round pick from the Ottawa Senators, and it was either going to be in 2018 or 2019. Ottawa had the choice of which one they wanted to pick. It was 2018, and they picked Brady Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk got traded to the Florida Panthers, and can you guess who was picked 4th overall next year with that same draft pick? Byram. So thought that was kind of neat. Loop that all together.
All comes back to Matt Duchene.
The circle of life. Matt Duchene, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the Brady Tkachuk trade? Yeah. I don't know what to say other than that.
I think we should go back and explain this a little further. So, like, middle of the day.
All right, more context?
Well, I think it does need more context because in the middle of the day, Mackie Samoskevich gets traded to Seattle. And we're all like,
what are they up to?
Okay. Yeah, like, what are they doing? They just got a 25th overall pick back. They got a second back. Now they have 9 and 25. Like, I think you and I immediately were like, what the fuck? Like, this is Hellebuck, right? Like, this has to be.
Yeah,
like,
one of those stupid guys. One of those Americans.
So then, like, obviously there's the, like, I think this was Was this before or after the Larkin rumor started? Had to be after, right?
It was after. Yeah.
Okay,
after.
so like there was the Larkin tie-in too, so it's like, okay, maybe this is Larkin. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Then the Tkachuk news hits, and you see what went back the other way, which is just 3 first-round picks, one that they shouldn't even fucking have. Thank you, Frank Saravalli, you absolute chud. But
frankly speaking,
holy fucking shit, I can't believe that actually. Like, not a serious leak. That does not get talked about enough.
Dude,
that
did you see him beefing with Dan Milstein? Like, what is this league, bro? What is NHL even about?
Not a real league, but I digress. So Tkachuk gets traded for the 9th, the 25th, and like a 29 first, and that's top 10 protected too. I'm pretty sure. Is it unprotected or
not 2030? I think it
doesn't fucking.
Yeah, it was
matter.
definitely.
It's not a real draft pick, in other words, and this is something that like I feel like everyone knew was coming. Like the rumblings of him wanting out of Ottawa have been going on since before they made the playoffs. The first time.
It was after the Olympics.
No, I'm talking this is multiple years before this that there's been rumblings of him wanting out. Like I've been hearing this since summer 24. That like this is a possibility. But obviously 4 nations and Olympics have really ramped this up. And like it sounds like from everything that we've heard, he wasn't going to like team events after the Olympics. He wasn't spending time with the team. Like you're the fucking captain. Like I just don't
openly your father openly trashed your goalie on the podcast. How do you come back from that?
That's I still can't believe that segment. And he just sat there and didn't say a word. Even Matthew tried to stop him. Like holy shit.
Yeah, guys.
Brutal. But like in a vacuum, he's probably gonna go win a cup with his brother. I think he's got 2 years there. I think he's got 2 years left on his deal. That top 9 is probably the best we've ever fucking seen on paper, at least in the last 20 years, easily. Like since those Red Wing teams, I'd have to imagine.
Yeah, you're right. 2 more years left at 8.2.
Yeah. So like you got a 2-year window here, and you didn't have to give up a roster player. Like everyone thought, like Lundell would have to go the other way or something like that. Didn't have to happen. I'm still a little skeptical on Jacob Markstrom and Akira Schmid being the answer in net. I probably would have just given Bob whatever he wanted, but that's neither here nor there. Dude, it's credit to Ottawa. I will say credit to Ottawa. They went and flipped that 9th pick for Eklund immediately. Yeah, they flipped that 9th pick for Eklund immediately. They knew they needed to get a player. And I think Eklund really helps that top 9. Like I think
and they got Andre Burakovsky. We didn't talk about that either.
Hitler dead. Get excited. I hope he does well in Ottawa.
Austrian dead.
If you are anything of what you are in the second half of last year, just retire. Like you've made so much money. You've won a cup, 2 cups.
I'd say leave the game before it leaves you, but I think it kind of already did in that second half.
Yeah, but it's whatever. Yeah, I think Ottawa made, like you said, they made the most of the situation that they could. They still have such a good core. Like I think we're going to see a Batherson extension here pretty soon. They brought Giroux back. You still have Stützle, you still have Eklund, you still have Pinto, Grieg. Like you have a lot of good players here. Cousins. Like I think Ottawa's going to be fine. And honestly, they might be better. You got a cancer out of your locker room. Like you can't have your captain not lead.
And then no show in the playoffs. 0 points.
Get
your ass kicked off the opening
draw.
That
was damning. Yeah, got his ass kicked by Jordan Stahl in a fight, game 1, and then just never recovered.
By the Conn Smythe winner.
And like I'm not gonna say that this guy's not a big game player. Like I watched him in the Olympics and the 4 Nations. Like this guy clearly knows when to score when it matters. It's just
he scored in the 4 Nations final, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
It was him and Sanderson, both the Ottawa boys.
Matthews was on the ice for both. But like he's gonna be in a position now where he's what? Their 4th best forward, maybe 5th. Like he is in an unbelievable situation where he might not put up like the 87 points that he did in his best year, I think. But this is a guy who's probably going to get 30 and 30 next year and just be a fucking problem. Like if I'm them, I put both Kachucks with Bennett on your second line and just say, deal with it. Figure it out. Or you split them up and put Brady with fucking Barkov and Reinhart. Like Jesus, there's so many options that they could do with this. And it's going to be interesting to watch. But at the same time, it's just like, I can't look at Brady the same after some of this shit. Like you're now like, yeah, it's cool to play with your brother, but you are now living in your brother's shadow. That is what you have chosen to do. I don't know, man. I know, like, I love my brother, but I'd want to probably fucking win a cup on my own before I go win one with him. That's just my thought, but maybe we're all different people. It's just damning. It's pretty damning all around. And like the fact that he forced their hand to trade him in division for only futures. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be the guy that's like in the conversations that come up, like, do you draft an American player in Canada? And like, I don't think that's a fair argument. You look at Montreal and Toronto, they're able to keep theirs. Like, I just think like you need to have a good team and you need to have a plan to keep that team good. And for guys like Tkachuk and Hughes, they make the playoffs twice?
Hughes I 100% get because like the Canucks are going nowhere so fast. But like, yeah, the Senators are so on their way up. They got their whole core locked in. And then, you know, the second year of making the playoffs again, and then you're like, nah, I want out. Like, that must just be a brutal gut punch. But I think Senators fans have been kind of used to it at this point. Like, Carlson has left, and granted, that was when they were on their downturn. But yeah, I think this might even hurt more now that they're on the ups. They've been on the upswing, and like, oh, your captain wants out. No, and yeah, I'm of the argument, like, just run your team better, because like we've not heard a peep of Cole Caulfield and Lane Hudson, and I would say they took below market value deals, especially now to stay in Montreal. It's like, yeah, because they have the best ran team in Canada, and Toronto's trying to be back to competitive. We'll touch on that later, but yeah, Vancouver's going nowhere, but yeah, Brady Tkachuk leaving Ottawa, that's must sting. And I mean, if you're a Canadian team drafting the top 5 and there's like an American going first overall, I'm not going to be like, oh, you might leave us in like 7 or 8 years. No, we're not going to draft him. We're going to pass up on like a potential franchise talent. Like, you deal with that later. Again, build a good team. But I could see in like, you know, later on in the first round, if there's a tiebreaker, yeah, I'm probably not picking American. That's just me personally, like in the later rounds. But yeah, if you're passing up like an American superstar for, you know, like a Carson Carroll type player, like, no, that's not happening. But I can definitely see the argument in the later rounds, like later on in the first and later rounds. Like, yeah, I'm not picking, like, if it came down to it, I'm probably not picking American. I don't know. That's me.
I'll play devil's advocate. Cutter Gauthier just did this shit to the Flyers. Like, this isn't just a Canadian city thing. Like, this is a bad hockey organization thing that's happening, in my opinion.
I think it's a college thing too. The guys who
it's that and mishandling your talent. That's all it is. Yeah. Cutter Gauthier would still be a Flyer if Torts didn't tell him to fuck off when he was going to sign his contract. That's the reality of the situation.
Yeah, I think it was everyone in there did that. Yeah.
Exactly, though. That's the fucking point. Like, I'd imagine if the fucking Canucks didn't crater after almost beating the Oilers in Game 7, I bet Quinn Hughes sticks around. At least for a little bit longer. Like,
and the rest of the guys.
Brady's an outlier. I think Brady was always going to fucking leave. But I think a lot of these problems you can avoid. Like, credit to the Leafs. They're doing everything in their fucking power to keep Austin Matthews. As they fucking should. They're not waving the white flag as soon as fucking problems show up. Like, granted, the Canucks probably should. They were cratering. That was the right call. I don't know, man. I just think it's all circumstantial. And, like, if the best player in the draft is from the United States and you're fucking Calgary, just pick him. Like, your two best players, if you're Calgary, are playing in America right now. Like, Renshie and Potter are fucking up the NCAA. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like if you have a well-run organization and you have a set plan with your prospects, shit like this doesn't happen. And the organizations it happens to are the people who don't plan ahead. Just my thought. Like, we can even go into Zach Werenski for a second. I think he has every fucking right to ask out if he wants to. He signed a 6-year deal, and you haven't made the playoffs once since he signed that fucking deal. Like, I don't blame Dylan Larkin for asking out. He has never made the playoff. He has more Olympic games than playoff games. I don't blame these players for wanting out.
The playoffs in Jeff Blashill's first year of coaching the Red Wings. That's all.
Like, I don't blame these players for wanting out. I blame the organizations for mishandling talent that bad. And yeah, I'm not going to pretend like the Olympics didn't play a part in this, but I'm also of the same camp that it played a role in Mitch Marner going to Vegas. Like, this goes both ways.
Yeah.
Like, this is always going to happen. This is what happens in sports when great players get around each other. It's no coincidence that the U.S. won a gold medal and Kevin Durant went to the Warriors right after that. I'm just saying, this happens in sports. The Rams just fucking did it, for God's sake. They just traded for Myles Garrett and Trent McDuffie. That's basically what the Panthers have been doing times 11. They have the MVP quarterback and just got like the best defensive player in the last 25 years. Like, this is what happens in sports. Like, good players want to play with each other. It's about time the NHL starts catching up. And good on the teams that can keep their stars, because that's how it should be. Like, I look at teams like Dallas. I look at teams like Colorado. I look at teams like Carolina, Tampa. They know how to keep their stars happy. They know how to make them paid, and they know how to stay in contention. Hell, Pittsburgh's done it for 20 fucking years with Crosby. I don't know. I just think it's a bad organization problem. I don't think it's a player problem. That's just my whole thing. But I don't, like you said, I don't blame these organizations if you have to have those conversations. And you should. You 100% should. If you're Calgary and you're picking 3rd overall and Carter Mayer's on the board, you have to have those conversations with him. I don't disagree. But also have a good plan so that conversation doesn't have to come up.
I think that's the number one thing above all. Like, just run your organization well. And I think that's just like a hole in the NHL. Like, why can't we get good players? Or like, how come it's the only 5 teams that get all the good players? It's like because they run their organizations well, and like they don't overvalue their own guys and they cash in on their value. Like, yeah. But I in this instance, I would get why Senators fans would be pissed that.
Oh, I'm not. That wasn't towards Sens fans. And like I said, Brady Tkachuk's the outlier. You have every right to get pissed at that one. I'm more like all these other trade requests. I think a lot of them are very valid, but Tkachuk's is not valid whatsoever. That's him just more fucking jumping ship.
And yeah,
chud behavior. But that's besides the point.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, but
I was gonna say if we want to talk about mismanaged organizations, I think it's about time we talk about the Ducks. We need to get into this.
Oh yeah, I wanted to go in chronological order, but like no.
Let's go chronological. Then. Sorry, but
because like I said off the top of the show, I feel we could have done like there's so many things that happened this offseason. Like we could spend a whole podcast on that alone. So yeah, that Brady Tkachuk trade happened. I think on the Sunday. I think that was the 21st. And then June 23rd happened. So we already touched on the Bo-Byram trade. And there were like 3 other huge trades that happened. Nemec got traded to Calgary. I don't know how much you want to get into that, but also like, and we kind of touched on Eklund as well, going to Ottawa. Like, to wrap up Ottawa, I guess, I like what they did. Like, then they were like, oh, you don't want to stay here? Well, I think the thing with Tkachuk is he didn't actively question trade. He just told them that I'm not signing after my 2 years. And then Ottawa's like, you know what? We're going to get rid of that, get some draft picks, and then we're going to flip those draft picks and get a good young top 6 player back, which they did. So, yeah, shout out to Steve Stales, because we're going to see in Detroit, Steve Yzerman's going to drag that out as long as he can. And it's kind of been happening in Anaheim too, you know, being a tough negotiator. I have a lot of respect for guys who are just like, okay, we might not get the best possible value, but you know what, we're going to move on and get what we can get and see if we can flip those assets for someone good. I respect that.
That's what an organization does when you have to pivot. Good organizations do when you have to pivot, that is. So hopefully Ottawa can get the good part of Ullmark next year. I don't know. Ericsson's is not the answer. I think it's the backup, but that's fine.
Oh, God, that's right. Signed him. But yeah, how do you want to go through the trades on this day? Because like we touched on the Byram trade. I think Eklund will be a great fit in that Senators top 6, and yeah, like Nemec and Calgary. I think that mostly solidifies their defense because they have Parik, obviously, and then now you got Nemec on your right side, and they drafted Carroll's, right? I'm not tripping. I should probably pull that up. Yeah, they did draft Carroll's, and they've added got like Jake Middleton too. They got Zach Whitecloud. Like they got guys on their defense.
Kevin
their defense
Ball.
Might not be here. Yeah, Kevin Ball too is also locked up long term. So yeah, Calgary's defense looks okay right now. Doesn't look horrible.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who gets power play 1 minutes between Parik and Nemec. And like Parik, like I think they actually got Nemec at a pretty good number. Like I thought his contract might have been a little more. I know he was asking for like 9. I'm pretty sure.
Well, he wanted what Hughes wanted. Yeah, 9. And they got him at 7.
As he should.
Yeah.
Like they set the market in New Jersey, but obviously it's a little different here. And Calgary, He's definitely going to be one of the top defensemen on this team. It's either him or Perek. The guy's got some crazy raw traits. Like he kind of reminds me of Byram a little bit, to where it's like he's got that, like, how do I put it? His analytics aren't good, but that boy nice meter is pretty high on him sometimes.
Got a hat trick against us.
Yeah, well, that doesn't take much skill, but that's fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but fantasy hockey legend Simon Nemec saved my fantasy team for like a month.
Nice.
No, he should be good in Calgary though. It's funny though, like he was a second overall pick that got traded. I don't remember the last time one got traded before his next deal. It had to have been a little bit. So
yeah, I can't think of any of them.
But like that was always the thing when they drafted Nemec. It never made any fucking sense. You and I were sitting there saying they should have taken Logan Cooley and ran with it. And you would have thrown him on the wing with Hughes or moved Hughes to the wing, and that would have been the solution. But you drafted Nemec the year after getting Hamilton, and then you signed Brett Pesce.
And Hughes.
It's just
and
like...
you also drafted Seamus Casey in the second round, that 2022.
I saw someone say, like, we should do Korchinski for Seamus Casey because Seamus Casey's waiver eligible. I think I do that. I think I do that. Oh, that intrigued me because I know Seamus Casey changed agents. I think he wants out. So, and as he should. He hasn't gotten a fucking crack at it. That guy was amazing in college, and he hasn't gotten a chance.
That right side is still like you're blocked out because there's still Hamilton, Kovacevic, and I think I'm missing another name.
Sheldon Keith's favorite player.
Brett Pesce too. Like you're still locked out on that right side. Why? No, I wouldn't want to be there.
No, me neither. But yeah, Nemec should be good in Calgary, and like they didn't give up anything crazy for him. Like it's Vegas and Colorado's first. Like they're gonna be good. Like I don't think those are gonna be high picks. And
no, probably 20s.
New Jersey gets some more assets in case they want to flip them later. Because like I think I was looking at New Jersey's cap sheet a couple days ago. Like they're pretty bare bones next year after besides like their main guys. Like after this year, like Mercer's up, Rodriguez is up, Nason's up, Glass is up, Uksad's up, Boko's up. All those guys are UFAs besides Mercer. So the only guys locked up after next year are Bratt, Hughes, Meyer, and Heischer. Like that's probably the guys you want locked up. They have
downtown Connor Brown.
Yeah, they got those guys for a couple years, but like, dude, this back end is abysmal. Like you got Dougie Hamilton 2 more years, Luke Hughes till 2032. You're paying Pesce 4 more years. Kovacevic's deal just kicked in. Like, Jesus. Brendan Dillon's making $4 million on this team. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then their goaltending's the real concerning one, dude. It's Jake Allen, Nico Dawes, and David Rittich. What the fuck? And I like Jake Allen, but like, I don't know about that one. And like, yeah, they got Silyaev in the minors and stuff, but like, dude, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Like, you need more help for Jack Hughes and Nico Heischer, who they just extended as well.
Well, they tried to get Barrett Hayton.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's funny because, like, apparently Sonny Mena doesn't view goalies highly. So I would have thought Hellebuck would be an answer here. Maybe Patrick Kane goes to New Jersey. Like, they have room for a scoring winger on that team. He can play with Jack Hughes. That'd be pretty fun. Or put him with Heischer and Meyer. Like, that'd be dirty. I don't know. Like, I'm curious to see what New Jersey does. Like, Calgary, I think, is in a spot to where, like, this next draft, they're about to get their stud forward. So, like, just make sure your young guys take some steps and go from there. But New Jersey, man, like, I'm not going to say the Metro's wide open, but, like, outside of Washington or Carolina and Washington, I think that's I put Washington in there too. I think Washington is like, we'll get into them in a minute. They so made improvements. Deep. They're so fucking deep right now. I can't see a world where they miss the playoffs. I just can't. Like they're 15 deep at forward. Like I don't think people realize, and they're 15 deep at forward and 7 deep at defense. Like it's ridiculous.
They got so much depth. Yeah,
that's how you do it. But that's neither here nor there. New Jersey's just very interesting to me because Sonny Meta clearly has an interesting plan for this team, and he's structured their cap in a very interesting way. Like they still have $7 million. Like they can go make a move. I just don't know what that move is. Maybe Shane Wright. Maybe that's the move.
Ooh, maybe like Casey for Wright, something like that.
Yeah, like they have the picks to throw too.
Yeah,
maybe they do. Like I don't know how Silyev's development's gone the last couple of years. I don't know, but they have $36 million cap next year, so it's like they're gonna have room to make moves, and I think they still can make moves now. And like I said, I think that division's wide open. Like, I think the Rangers made moves to get better, but they also had people removed from their lineup, so I don't know how much better they got. The Islanders are a mixed bag, in my opinion, because there's so much old on that team. Columbus is Columbus. Like, we'll see what happens there. They did not make any improvements. I'll tell you that much. And then you have, who am I missing here? Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they can have 10 40-point players again, like they did last year. PDO nightmare. Like, there's no way they're getting like,
the Hawks.
Dude, they got 40 points out of Ryan Shea last year. Like, I don't think people realize how ridiculous that year was from Pittsburgh in terms of depth scoring. They're not getting that again.
And then they lost to the Philadelphia Flyers.
And
another team.
Flyers a $30 million cap. I know they got to sign Zegras to Drysdale. Curious to see what they do, because we'll get into them later. They tried to make a big fucking splash. So,
shit, did they ever? Yeah.
Like, I'm very curious to see how Danny Briere pivots. I don't think Adam Fantilli's the pivot, but it's clear they know what they need. It's clear they know what they need, dude. They need a number one center, because I think everything else that's in this lineup looks pretty good right now. Like, their defense is pretty solid. They are really good on the wings. Like, God,
Vladar locked up.
Just give me Golden Tippett. Like, Jesus Christ. You don't even need him. Like, but like, they got Martone, they got Mishkov, they got freaking Tippett, they got Forrester, who just locked up. Noah Cates is good down the middle. Like, I like the way the Flyers are set up, but if they get a 1C in that team, you look at that team a lot differently.
Yeah.
But that's the point. The Metro's wide open. So if I'm New Jersey, you got to make another move, I think.
Yeah, maybe the Shane right their wrongs and get Shane right when they should have drafted him instead of Nemec. I just had to make that joke. Yeah, I feel talking about the Metro, that segues perfectly into another trade that happened, and that's Jordan Kyrou going to the Washington Capitals. I think it was for pick 16 and Milton Gastron. I think that's who it was, and I think I'm missing a draft pick and maybe a player. I don't know.
It's McMichael Gastron in a first.
That's who it was. McMichael, probably the biggest part of that trade. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I like it for both teams, like a lot.
I was gonna say, I think it's a great trade for both sides. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you look at St. Louis, they get a center. Connor McMichael had a great year 2 years ago, had a good second half last year, had a rough first half, I think. Shooting percentage kind of regressed to the mean a little bit, but like, that's a guy who could still be a 50-point player, I believe. And like, we'll talk about St. Louis in a minute, because they made another trade. Like, they've kind of reshaped their.
And they flipped that for McTavish, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And I like Gastron as a prospect. I was high on him last year. He had a good year in the SHL this year. I think he's going to the AHL this year, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, and then you look at the Caps, they get a player like Jordan Kyrou, who has been a perennial 70-point guy, except for last year, where it looked like he kind of fell out of love with the coaching staff a little bit. He's going to a team in Washington where, like, I just salivate looking at how they're going to put these lines together. Like, I don't even know how you'd set it up. Like, there's a world where Ovechkin's on the fourth line, and it makes sense. Like,
Dale Hunter, welcome back.
I'm so serious. Like, dude, I would put Kyrou with like Dylan Strome and just let them go crazy. Like, it'd be like Kyrou, Strome, and like Protus or something. Like, just something crazy like that. Like, Kyrou is gonna have so many options to fit on either the right wing or the center, like a glove. Like, people like the fact that Pierre-Luc Dubois is about to be an afterthought on this team should just show how deep they are. And that's a guy who had 60 points when he was healthy last year. And they got guys like Ryan Leonard coming up. I really like Ethan Frank as a fourth liner. Justin Sordoff had a great rookie year last year. Ilya Protas is coming up. I don't know if he's going to make the team out of camp, though, because they're so fucking deep. Like, I don't think you want him playing on the fourth line. But, dude, like, they signed Boone Jenner, too, on top of that. Like, they have him in the bottom six.
We didn't bring him up. Alex Tuck. They got him.
I was going to get there. But, yeah, the big one is
the
big fish. Like, and that happened really fast. Like, as soon as Byram got traded, it was like, all right, they're going to make one more swing at Tuck, but it sounds like that's a sign and trade. And everyone thought the Kraken, and then it's Washington. They get him, 10.5 times 8 or 10.6? Yeah, 10.5.
Yeah.
10.5 times 8. I mean, you don't really care what that back end of the deal looks like. Hey, he's going to be a 60-point guy on your team going forward. And he's kind of going on a team like he was in Buffalo, where they're just deep as shit at forward. So he doesn't really need to be the guy. Like I bet Spencer Carberry just sits there at night salivating at what he's going to do with these power play units. Like, holy smokes. But they are a bit older. Like, you have Boone Jenner signed till he's 37. You have Tom Wilson signed till he's 37. You have, like, Alex Tuck signed till he's 38. Dubois 28. Kyrie's 28. Strome's 29. Like, this is the time. Like, they have to go now. But it's not all old. Still got Leonard at 21. Protas is 21.
They still got they've done a great job of drafting with not many high picks. So like you still got Chris Stahl in the minors. Like I don't know how great he's gonna be. They have Persak,
really good for them.
Drafted. Lekovic, yeah, like they have guys. Their defense is fairly young. Like Chikrin's 28, Farivari 26, Sandin's 26. Like all those guys are in the mid-20s. You got Cole Hudson. Like, yeah, they've just done such a great job of drafting. So, yeah, even with all – they do have older guys, but they're going to have a lot of young guys to take it over. Like, I don't think they're bottoming out anytime soon.
No. At worst, they'll be what they were this year or like 2 years ago, which was like 8th last. But, like, that would have to take a lot going wrong. But, like, they're 7 deep at defense after getting Vinny Desharnais, which, like, I didn't think they needed to do. But, like, he brings something that none of those guys really bring on their back end. But, like, that's 4 years, too. So that's a long time. Like, they're a very interesting team going into this year because I can't see a world where they miss the playoffs, especially with how good Logan Thompson was last year.
If they don't, then, or, like, if they do miss the playoffs, then holy shit. What a
Someone's Carver, like, you can't fire Carver either. You just extended him. So, like, the answer's in the room. They missed the playoffs by like 3 points last year, and you just added like 100 points to the lineup. So I can't see a world where they don't finish worse than second in the Metro. Like they probably might win the division unless Carolina comes out like gangbusters like after winning the cup. But look out for Washington, man. They're going full speed ahead. And St. Louis, like I don't think they're going to be great, but they're definitely shifting the direction of what their team's doing next year.
I just want to read off the Capitals lines as it stands on Puckpedia. First line, Tuck, Strome, Kyrou. Second line, Protas, Dubois, Wilson. Third line, Ovechkin, Jenner, and Leonard. And then fourth line, Protas, Sordoff, and Beauvillier. Defense is Chikrin and Waugh. Second pairing, Farivari and Desharnais, LOL. And then Cole Hudson and Liljegren. And now that's not accounting that Sandin, I think, is going to miss, like a month or two to start the season. And then, yeah, your goaltending is Logan Thompson and
he's
Charlie
missing
Lindgren.
more than that. He's probably missing the first half of the season. That's a 9-month surgery he had.
Oh yeah. So even more. But like, yeah, they can more than like weather the storm there.
So when the Sandin Liljegren pairing happens, and it works,
that's right. And they have Justin Hull as well.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, but
Ethan Frank's not in that lineup,
Ethan
and
Frank,
neither is
dude.
Marashchenko.
Ethan Frank's he's like 25-year-old Sam Lafferty. I fucking love him. He's so much fun to watch. Like I saw them play live last year, and I'm like, who the fuck is 53? He's like, I don't know, some fourth line. I'm like, well, he's your best player tonight because he's all over the puck. That was when I texted you and I was like, I'm watching the Capitals and they have Jacob Chikrin playing net front on the power play. So like, they don't have to do that anymore. So that's good.
Yeah.
But for a team that like lost John Carlson, like they've done a lot of additions to make up for that. So, and Ovi's back, and he might have a shot at 1,000 goals.
1,000, yeah. I think it's all up to him on this point if he wants to get.
Sounds like he wants to play 2 more years. But yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you? Look at the team. You don't have to be the guy. You could just fucking sit on the power play and get your cookies.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah. Jordan Kyrou is such a good bet because, only last year he had 18 goals, 72 games, 46 points. But then the 4 previous years, like 24-25, 36 goals, 70 points, 82 games. 23-24, 31 goals, 67 points, 82 games. 22-23, 37 goals, 73 points, 79 games. And then he was point per game in 21-22, 70 points, 74 games, 27 goals, including 7 goals in 12 playoff games. So, yeah.
Demon.
Great bet by them. And I like it from St. Louis's end of things as well, because it sounded like he, like you said, kind of fell to favor, and you get back 2 pieces, and then you flip that, I believe, that first round pick for Mason McTavish. So Yeah, June 23rd, crazy day. A lot of big trades, Byram trade included as well. Like that's like our our this decade's I think it was June 29th, 2016 when the Hall for
Weber,
Larson, Subban for Weber, and then Stamkos ruining the party and staying in Tampa Bay. So
Yeah, that's the closest we've had to that. Maybe like 2021 when Jones got traded, because like that was when Ristolainen
that was
got
a crazy day too.
Like
yeah,
a lot of
that
the
was
things
also,
happened that day.
Yeah,
But
that was a crazy offseason because of the expansion draft. But yeah, another point we didn't bring up, another Chicago GM being fleeced by Jarmo Kekalainen just to bring the move back down. But anyways, I guess let's get into draft night now. So McKenna goes first overall, not surprising there. And yeah, once
Justin Bieber gets his name wrong. Wonderful. Mr. McKenna, why don't you come up here?
And then San Jose, yeah, as soon as they trade Eklund, the writing was on the wall that they're going to take Stenberg, but they're still like, and I think you're the same thing too, where like there's still a small part of me like, what if they don't take Stenberg and he falls to 4 anyways? But I think the like, it made too much sense for Stenberg not to go to San Jose at number 2, and then number 3 was interesting because we heard so much smoke about Malhotra going to Vancouver. It's like, okay, we're hearing a little too much smoke. Like, how much does like Kale Malhotra, how much would Manny Malhotra really like? How much would they want to be together in the same system? And it sounds like the Sedin twins and Ryan Johnson just deferred to the scouting staff because I think Patrick Alvin was in attendance for a lot of Bulldogs games and got a lot of Caleb Malhotra, and sound like the scouting. I don't think they really fired much of their scouting staff, so I think they just went with that. And then yeah, where it really got interesting was number 4, and then yeah, as frustrating as like seeing that Byram trade, I was like, holy shit. But yeah, I think Davidson must have known pretty well that the top 3 forwards were going to be gone, and had Chase Reed been there, they would have picked him. But yeah, they're like, no, we don't want to wait on another defenseman. Let's get one now. But yeah, where it really gets interesting was number 4, Buffalo Sabres taking Daxon Rudolph. I thought it was going to be Reed all the way, but I think that's another thing going into this draft. Like, there were the 2 forwards, and then who else? Like, yeah, I think Malhotra is highly thought of, but seeing how the draft shaked out, I don't know like how much of a gap there was between like the top defensemen, which seemed to be a read between like, I don't know, Rudolph and Schmitz and Carrolls who went between them. So yeah, that was the most interesting picks, Daxon Rudolph going to Buffalo at number 4. But I think you mentioned this when we were watching the draft in Toronto with our good friends Jacob and Connor. Like, Daxon Rudolph does not have to be the guy in Buffalo. They could take their time with him. You still got Dolly and Power and Samuelson there. So honestly, a very Jarmo Kekalainen pick because he rarely ever goes. Chalk, he'll always go off the board. But yeah, I think Daxon Rudolph could very much fit in Buffalo, where he might have not fit in a lot of other organizations.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. Like I said, makes me feel a little bit better about the Byram deal, but only time will tell.
Yeah, like we're not going to see any Byram versus Reed anytime soon. So I guess there's that. Albert Schmitz to the Rangers at number 5. They also traded for Pavel Dorofeyev and then signed him to a 7-year extension, I believe, worth $11 million per. Yeah, there's just it was the run on defenseman here. Schmitz went to the Rangers at 5. Calgary gets their homeboy, not wanting to be in a big city, their farm boy. They got him at number 6, and then honestly, maybe the steal of the draft, Seattle getting Chase Reed at 7, and yeah, maybe he wasn't like the clear-cut number 1 guy, but at number 7 at that point, and with Seattle's drafting history of always picking a forward and desperately needing a defenseman like that, I think that's a great pick for him. He fell into their laps.
Yeah, what have I been screaming for Seattle for years? They have all these great forwards. They need a dynamic person on that back end. And like Brandon Montour's been good, Vince Dunn's been good, but like Chase Reed, if he is Zach Werenski, like people compare him to, that is exactly what Seattle needs on that back end. and he could be the number one there. He's going to get the power play time. Vince Dunn's a free agent after this year. Like, this is a very good spot for him. And you're going to have guys like Jake O'Brien coming in. Catton's got another year. Like, I'm very excited to see what Seattle does. I thought they had a really good draft.
Number 8, I really like the Jets picking Viggo Bjork, and thankfully he didn't fall too much longer, because I feel so often we see guys with that kind of, well, it's mainly just the size, fall past 10, and you're wondering how the hell did they get this such a steal. So glad that Winnipeg took that swing. And San Jose is so interesting because they clearly had the best draft. Like, just alone moving up to number 2 was probably going to get you the best draft, getting Ivar Stenberg. But then, yeah, Keaton Vierhoff falls to you at 9. That's a great pick, because they got their cake and eat it too, because they wanted to get Stenberg, but they also wanted a top level defenseman. With how everything worked out with them moving up and then trading Eklund to get 9th overall, they got their another winger for Celebrini and all those other guys, and what they hope is probably their number 1 guy. White Cullen went to Nashville at number 10. I just want to say that I predicted that. And I think we both predicted Cullen and Lawrence back-to-back, Nashville and St. Louis. And then I don't want to say it goes off the board here, but Alexander Command went pretty high to the New Jersey Devils at number 12. But I think just him being a pure center, I think that's what maybe boosted his value a bit. Multi Gustafson went to the Islanders at number 13, kind of another bruising defenseman in their lineup. He might be able to, or in their pipeline, he might be able to make their lineup within a year or two, might be pro ready. Oscar Hemming going to Columbus at number 14, a great pick. Could be a power forward in that system. And then Anaheim picking Nikita Klepov. I really like their draft because they got him, and then they got Preston in the second round. And then kind of after the first half, it goes all over the place. I hate that that Utah got Ethan Belchitz at number 17. St. Louis picked another center with Maddox I don't even know how to say his name. Maddox Dejeune. Like, that's how you say his name. At 16, and then Savanto at 18 to Washington. I mean, I don't want to go through all the picks individually. San Jose also picking up Ryan Lynn, 21st overall. Pittsburgh getting the Ruck twins. Detroit picked or traded into the first round with Kosa and got JP Hurlbert. And then the
Ruck twins went to Pittsburgh. That was a big one.
Yeah, I already said that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like, I think kind of after like 20-ish, that's where the draft really just goes, don't want to go through all the names. And then we brought up earlier, the Hawks got Villanova at 34th, and they trade up 2 spots to get a Rubric. Who are you or some standout picks other than kind of like the top 10, top half guys, and maybe some picks you're like, wouldn't have maybe made that? I guess who are some winners and losers?
One of my winners is Nashville. I really like that they got Cohen and Blyle. I think Nashville's taken some swings at some upside finally, which is good because I feel like they've taken a lot of high floor picks lately.
Never do.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like they did well.
Also, shout out Jackson Kovar. Sorry to interrupt. 32nd overall.
Yeah, Jackson Covert from the Cayman Islands, like, just a crazy story. I do think with what Anaheim did, they made pretty good out. Like you said, they made 3 very solid picks. Obviously, San Jose, like, they got 2 really good.
And Nordmark.
Yeah, Nordmark's going to be good. But I don't know. Like, it's kind of hard to tell once we get later into this draft, like, who's going to come out on top. But like, Nashville really does stick out to me. Like, that's the first time that I've seen them go skill in a long time, and I think it's going to benefit them in the long run. Also, for like what they did, like, I don't mind what the Rangers did this year. I like some of the guys they picked up.
I like the Schmitz.
Yeah, I think we're both very high on Schmitz.
Both of us.
Can see the upside for sure. I thought, out of guys I liked, LA took a lot of them. Like, they took Hermanson, they took Golier. Like, those are 2 guys I'm very high on. So I think that's a decent draft for them. It'll be only time will tell here. But I think like my winners, if I had to like choose off the top of my head, it's probably Nashville, San Jose, and Seattle. Those probably my winners. I think they've all had very good drafts. For going off of like pro ready players, I do think New Jersey had a sneaky one because like Alexander Command he was a late riser in this draft, but also
because he's a center and he played pro.
Mm-hmm. And I'm very high on Nikita Sherbakov. That guy played very good in the Russian Junior League last year, so in the MHL. So it'll be interesting to see what he turns into because I was a guy I was kind of intrigued that the Hawks would take in the second round just because he's got big body, he skates well, like it kind of fits their bill. But I like their draft too. So if I had to go like losers, I don't really know off the top of my head who I'd say is a loser right now. I think it's kind of hard to tell. I will say I don't like what Philly did.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, picking a 6'8" guy. I feel like they do that a lot. They did it with Bonk, I think, kind of. Like I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Honestly, with what St. Louis did, I'm not the biggest fan either. But
yeah, it'll
be interesting to see what Tynan Lawrence turns into, I guess. But those are probably the two that I would choose right now. I think Vancouver did pretty good. Like they got Aram Olsen.
I want to make a point on Vancouver. Apparently, that's the first time in their franchise history that they made 4 picks in the first 2 rounds, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
That's never happened once.
That's fucking.
Well, that's what you got to do to start the rebuild.
Yeah, you got to start reloading the pipeline. So that's probably where I have it right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to say, like, I like Toronto's draft too, just because they got McKenna, but they also like drafted a guy who I like. His name Alexander Balicki. Apparently, he's well thought of. I saw a video of him with, like at Rogers Center with the Jays, like just throwing gas in the bullpen. So found that funny. They also drafted Ethan McKenzie, who was an overager for the Edmonton Oil Kings, but had a very good year. Was on the World Junior team, and apparently he was playing with Ben Danford on the World Juniors team. So I guess in that sense, I do like Toronto's draft as well. I like Pittsburgh just getting the Ruck twins, and then they picked a guy with my first name. So is it too unbiased to be like, I like what the Hawks did with their picks? We brought it up earlier, but I guess we could classify them as a winner with what they had.
I guess, bro.
you're like, I guess. All right, sure.
I don't care. Like I'm excited to see Villanova BU. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
I need Robert to
Seattle.
prove me wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Seattle with Mutrin and in the second round, then obviously Chase Reed. I like that, and I just find it interesting that Florida took the Simas Ignatavicius. I think that's how you say his name, the Lithuanian guy.
Mm-hmm.
Found that interesting, but other than that, I don't really have too much notes on the draft.
Oh, shout out the Ducks too. They took a guy named Chudzinski.
Also, the Flames took Joe Aginla.
Oh yeah, that was cool too. That was cool. Was that first pick of the third round?
Yeah,
that was a cool pick.
Though I think a lot of like scouts were like, I don't agree with that, but I mean, whatever, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we kind of touched on the Dorofeyev trade. Paterka also got moved that day, but yeah, that was just frustrating seeing those moves. Like, the Hawks could have made those moves, and they didn't. But again, don't want to keep beating a dead horse. Also, the San Jose Sharks picking Alexander Karmanov, who is a 7-foot defenseman and from Moldova. That's interesting, I guess, as your 7th round pick. Even your dog agrees.
Someone's at the door.
Damn.
Yeah, like,
do you have any more notes on draft night or move to
not really?
Agency now?
Not really. I think what was the only trade? There wasn't a lot that happened day 2 either. So
nah, not really. So free agency was pretty bad. Like, I don't think we were expecting much of it because even Radish had already done a sign and trade. Tucker had already done a sign and trade. So, like, really the best guys that were on the market was like Mason Marchman, who got overpaid by San Jose, and same with Jacob Trouba. I do find it interesting how San Jose probably had the best draft, but then had like the worst free agency by giving Marchman and Drew those contracts, and not only that, and then taking on Darnell Nurse. So is Mike Greer a little bit of a luck merchant from the lottery, or because man, those trades not great, or like those moves not great, honestly.
Yeah, not a great free agency day. Yeah, I don't like took on Darnell Nurse, full 925, gave Trouba 4 years, at like $8 million. Was not expecting that.
No.
Marchman deal I think is fine. Like I would
Marchman's probably the best of those three.
But all three of them side by side. It's a rough look. I think the Sharks are very deep at forward now. I will give them that. But that back end is still not great. Like your top four right now is Nurse and Trouba and Orlov and Kesselring, and then Dickinson and like Cagnoni. Like I don't think that's as good of a back end as it should be. But yeah, that it's funny how you can go from the penthouse to the street within 2 days because you have a
cardboard box
period.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Trocheck trade happened too. I didn't expect Utah, but looking at how their lines are, that makes so much sense. And I don't mind that trade for the Rangers end of things either, because you got Sean Dursey, who can be like a second pairing guy for you. Like they got NHL players back, and they got Cole Baudouin, who was a first round pick, I think a couple years ago in 2024. And played on the Barrie Colts and was a big part of that team. And maybe he's like a middle six guy. I don't know if he's going to be like a legit top end of the lineup guy. And I think they got a third round pick. So yeah, they definitely valued like NHL ready players for Trocheck. But yeah, Trocheck I think makes a lot of sense for Utah as well. One team's whose offseason I actually really liked, besides them hiring Babcock, I do like what Bowman has done with the Oilers. Well, I think he's done about as good of a job as you can with the Oilers, getting rid of that Nurse contract. I think just being able to dump off that contract and not having to give up a premium asset to do so or retain, and you actually got back Mokoladuma. Why can I say his name? Mokoladulin, and signed him, I think, to a couple years for a pretty cheap contract. They signed him for 1.75 for the next couple of years. They upgraded their defense as well by signing Ryan Shea, who I think Bowman originally drafted in 2015 because he was originally a Hawks pick. Spent a long time in college, I think was in the Dallas Stars system, and then went to Pittsburgh. Had a great year this year, 35 points in 8 games, just like a lot of people on the Penguins had a PDO bender. But I don't know if he's going to get to 35 points, but like looking at his analytics, he's a very good like second pairing, penalty killing defensive guy who can still move the puck. So I think that's a great fit for that defense. Like their defense is just so much more better. You got Bouchard, Wallman, Murphy, Ekholm, Shea, Mokoladulin, and you still got Stastny and Emberson. So like you have depth, and it doesn't look horrible. It really just looks so much more better with Darnell Nurse's cap hit not on there. Goaltending is still, but I do like how I don't know what you do with Tristan Jarry, but I do like them taking swings on trading a third for Devin Levi and Frederick Anderson as well. And then, like forward, you still got Draisaitl, McDavid, and all those guys. Re-signed Dickinson, re-signed Murphy, all that. So, I don't really know what much there is to go off of free agency. But who in your mind were some teams that stuck up to you, good or bad?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously we talked about the Sharks. I was gonna make the point with the Oilers. They're not done yet. They can't be done yet. I was looking at their forwards. They still need a forward. I still need a top 6 wing. I know they're expecting Isaac Howard whatever the fuck, to fill the role, but I'll believe that when I see it, I guess.
Yeah.
Is the best way I'm going to put it.
Big thing.
I don't know. Like this offseason was so interesting with how free agency was done, because I feel like it was just like, which middle 6 winger would you end up getting? Like, honestly, I think Tampa had a very good offseason. Like, they picked up Mikheyev. You got John Carlson on a very good deal for 2 years. Granted, your back end is ancient for the next 2 years.
No, but they signed Veal for 5 years. So.
That's a rough one. That's a rough one. That's like welcome back Tanner Jeannot type shit. But like, hey man, like you could run a penalty kill with Sorelli and Mikheyev. That's going to be disgusting. And like, their team is set up very well. Like at the moment, Victor Hedman would be on their third pair. Like that's just how it would be. It's either him or like who are you going to put McDonough on the third pair maybe? But like, I mean, Hedman hasn't played. Like I would think it would be him. But they're a deep team again, and I think I really like them getting Hildeby. Like I know they got rid of Paul, but like getting Hildeby as a backup for Vasilevsky, I think is huge because they have not had a good backup behind him. Jonas Johansson is not the fucking answer. They're going on like year 4 of that. So I like that a lot. And I think those are moves that like, they're not like John Carlson's a flashy move. That's your Darren Radish replacement, obviously. But like, I think Mikheyev's a really sneaky pickup for them. And that's not just because we watched him for the last couple of years. Like he's just, what he brings to the table is very big for what they need, if we're being honest. And like, I don't know if you count Washington as a winner in free agency because they kind of they did all their work prior. So I don't know if you can really.
I mean, the whole point of free agency is like win now. I think they won that part, and I do like the Kyrie trade. So yeah, I'd put them in winners. They were trying to win now, and I think they made moves to do so.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. I didn't really mind what LA did. Like, I think they took good flyers.
I do like what LA did.
They brought in Holla.
The last couple of years.
I think Holla is a good middle 6 guy there. They brought back Lawton, which I thought was huge. I thought he fit in really well with them when he got there. So I think that's an interesting team this offseason for the moves they've made. And then if I had to go like one more winner, I mean, I'm not going to say, like, I guess it would be Utah. Like, I know you mentioned them earlier, but like Utah is one of the only teams I can look at in a vacuum that got better. Like they got, like, apparently they're not even going to play Vincent Trocheck at center, which I think is stupid. Like that's why you get Vincent Trocheck. So you can kick Nick Nick Schmaltz to the wing. I don't know what we're doing here. Like he's a better winger anyway. But dude, they're so deep. And like the fact that, dude, they were able to make all these additions with keeping TJ Ginla, which I thought was the biggest thing. I didn't know if they were going to be able to do that. And like I think I said it all offseason. That was the team I wanted to go Larkin to go to. And I think Trocheck is a pretty good complimentary prize. And Anders Lee is going to bring some veteran leadership to that team. It's a former captain coming in the room. Trocheck's worn an A. Like these are the types of moves you make to put your team over the top if they're making the run. And that top 6 is still as good as can be. I mean, the fact that Peterka was on the 4th line should tell you how deep they were last year. They're going to be a fun team this year, man. And I think they did some tidy business at the end of the day. Now, do we want to get the losers? Because I have a couple losers.
Can I just say, I think the Leafs are kind of losers. They just signed so many middle 6, bottom 6 guys. Like, I just don't know if that's doing it for me.
You know who else is a loser for me?
Is Buffalo. It Minnesota? Because, all right,
mine's Buffalo. But Minnesota, you're right, too. But I want to make a point on Buffalo. They have not gotten better.
All right.
They have not gotten better.
Yep.
They lost Bowen-Byram. They lost Alex Tuck. What have they added back? They re-signed back Malmstein.
David Kampf, who they haven't re-signed.
David Kampf went back to Europe, so he's not coming back.
Oh, never mind. I did not see that. Okay. I like the Zach Benson contract, but yeah, I don't think they are. I agree.
That's an extension, though. What have you done to get back?
Yeah, exactly.
Louis Krebby. I guess Olin Zellweger. Okay. That's,
I
guess, your Byram replacement. But I just, for a team that took such a big step, and I don't think Patrick Kane's going to change this a whole lot if they do get him. Like, yeah, it helps. Obviously, that probably helps with the points with Tuck. But, like, dude, we talk about this all the fucking time. Like, when the Hawks lost Panarin and Hossa, they lost 100 fucking points. Where are you getting those points back from? When the Leafs lost Mitch Marner, they lost 100 fucking points. Where are you getting those points from? The Sabres just lost 105 points with 2 players. How are you replacing those 105 points until I see otherwise? And I firmly believe it can happen from just the kids getting better. I agree with that. But until that happens, as of right now, your division got better. Florida just loaded up. Montreal just locked their whole core up going forward. Tampa got better. Toronto's not getting any worse. Boston got better. It's a tough look if you're Buffalo. I don't know. I had to make the point. And I love what they've done, but it's not enough right now when you're in an arms race of a division. Hell, even Ottawa got better. They lost Kachuk, but they got Eklund. Like, I don't know, man. They need to make a move. Like, if they got Hellebuck, I wouldn't have been saying this. That's just my whole thing. They need to make a
I
splash,
just think,
man.
yeah, I think there's so many teams where it's like they are unfinished products right now. Like, is this really what Minnesota is going into the year with? Like, I'm just looking at the projected lines: Kaprizov, Yurov, Shabanov, Coleman, Eriksson, Boldy, Trennan, Hartman, Brink, Foligno, McCarron, Foligno, and you're trying to win a Stanley Cup and convince Quinn Hughes to stay. That's not doing it for me. And I look at the Colorado Avalanche: Lehkonen, McKinnon, Nichash, Kadri, Nelson, Landeskog, Schwartz. They signed Waugh, O'Connor, Kelly, Svechkov, LaRue. Like, is that doing anything for you?
I've been out on the Avs since January. You know it's doing nothing for me. Like, they're a 3-man team. They're a very good 3-man team. I'm not pretending like they aren't. Like, McKinnon, McCarr, and Natchez can win you more games than not. Like, I'm not going to pretend like that's not a thing, but they are a 3-man team. So, and they only got older. They're the oldest team in the league besides Washington, aren't they? Like,
Probably. Sounds right.
Father Time does not wait for anyone. That's all I'm going to say. And just be grateful that McKinnon and McCarr are made out of fucking diesel fuel. Like, Jesus Christ. These guys are so good. But yeah, I agree. Like, I don't think they got better on paper. Like, I don't think Dallas got better on paper. They lost Bjork or Maverick Bork. Like,
they still have Robertson side.
They're not gonna have depth.
Can I throw Vegas in there? Like,
yeah.
Barbashev, Eichel, Stone, Howden, Carlson, Marner. Great top 6, but then I look at the bottom 6: Olsen, Hurdle, Bowman, Ron Bjerg, Dowd, and Gatcomb.
And I
Defense
like Bowman
is great.
too. I like Bowman and Gatcomb. I thought Gatcomb was a sneaky pickup. He's gonna be a great 4th liner for him, but it's not doing it for me. That's for sure.
No, Dorfe was a huge loss for them.
In Minnesota, I think it's just they're just trying to figure out how to get this Dylan Larkin trade to work. Like, I really think that's what it is right now. Because once Larkin's on that team, if it's him and Eriksson Ek down the middle, I think that team looks a little different. But if they don't do that, then that's...
I hate to keep piling on them, but I think with just all the news that came around about them, Robertson declining to sign there, I think the Kraken are kind of losers too, and I feel bad for piling on for them. But yeah, it's just such an insanely mid team, and they've done nothing to get better. And Shane Wright has requested a trade. Like, I don't know how, like, if that's going to be like they're going to honor that. Like, I don't think it was like, get me out of here trade. I was like, hey, if we can work out a trade, it'd be nice. But yeah,
I have one more loser too, but I think it's our next topic, so I'll just wait on that team.
I think they are the biggest loser. Is it the Anaheim Ducks?
Biggest egg on, like, how do you beat the Hawks for having the most egg on your face this offseason? Shocking, honestly. But you know what's funny with the Ducks? Because, like, I've been waiting to get into this one. Because, like, we talked about it all fucking year.
I think we saved the spiciest for the last.
We did. But we talked about this all fucking year with Anaheim. Like, oh my God, they're having all this great year. All this young talent's great. They don't have a right side locked up next year. Everyone except Lacombe needs a contract. And then you have Carlson and Gauthier that need new deals. So, like, we all knew Verbeek had to do his homework. And he had $40 million cap space. So, like, in a vacuum, before the, you know, how do I put it? Like, pre-offer sheet, it looked like it could have been done. Like, you got Lacombe on a good deal, and it looked like that was the start. Time goes. Pat Verbeek does what Pat Verbeek does best, which is just lowball the fuck out of everyone that plays for him because he thinks it's 2003.
From the Steve Yzerman school, by the way.
Yeah.
Doing that. So
looks like it's going well for him over there in Detroit. So yeah, lowballs Carlson. I think, like, should we go through the steps of what happened that day? So I believe it was Carlson and his agent wanted $15 million, and the Ducks, and keep in mind, they already had the offer sheet with Philly in hand at this point. They knew what Philly was going to offer them when they went to Verbeek the day of the offer sheet. They asked for 15, which I think knowing you have 18 on the table to ask for 15 should say something. So anyone that says Carlson doesn't want to be there, that's a load of bullshit because he tried. Like, I'm not going to hear that shit of like, oh, the bridge is burned with the player now. It's not. This is all on the GM. You hit him with 12 and say you're not going higher than that. Oh, you deserve everything that's fucking coming to you now. And good on Philly. We talked about it earlier. They knew what they fucking needed. It's a 1C. So what do? And it's so, I love when the NHL's petty. It's my favorite because
my favorite kind of NHL. I wish there's more of it.
I know. Like, what the fuck? Why can't more teams hate each other?
Be nice if my GM could do that as well. Because,
like, oh, this is such payback for Cutter Gauthier and all this shit. Like, it's just, oh, I bet it felt so good for Danny Briere to put that offer sheet in and just be like, you know what?
And it wouldn't
you, buddy.
surprise me if other GMs like stepped in and like congratulated Briere, because looking at polls from the Athletic from agents, certainly agents were like probably thinking Danny Briere and like Leo Carlson's agent as well. But the Athletic did a poll of what the agents is, what's the hardest front office to deal with. It was Anaheim. So well, I think we always hear like Vegas is hard to deal with and Carolina is as well, but I think Anaheim is just on at least they've won. Anaheim is just on a whole other level. Verbeek plays hardball way too much. Did that with McTavish, did that with Zegras. They're both gone now. And now you're doing that with your franchise player. Well, he did sign, but like the fact that they came with a cheaper contract offer, hey, there's this offer sheet at $18 million, but I'm willing to do this, and you didn't. Like, you deserve to be fired, I think, for that. Like,
he's gonna get fired.
That's horrible mismanaged.
He got fired the day that offer sheet got signed. Because you still don't have Cutter Gauthier signed. We talked about it all offseason. They don't have a back end. The only thing they did to their back end was add Nick Jensen. That's it.
You got rid of Zellweger, who signed for a damn good contract, and then Minchikov, you weren't able to sign either. And now I think, at least for right now,
dude, they were trying to get him at Zellweger's number, and then this happened, and then it became Brant Clark's number. Like, you have lost all leverage with your organization at this point. And like, it wouldn't matter if you didn't have like 15 mil tied up in bums. This is why when we talked about San Jose earlier, like, yeah, those contracts are a little concerning, because what if the last year of Darnell Nurse is what fucks you out of a Michael Misa extension or an Ivar Stenberg extension, which is probably the big one that we should really be talking about. That's when that's going to get difficult. But cross that bridge when you get there. But guess what? Anaheim didn't, and now that's why they're in the position they're in. So now Leo Carlson's making $18 million, gets paid like 20 mil every year for the next 3 years on July 1st. Like, God bless him. This is the same guy who had to drive. I don't know if people remember, he had to drive from, I think it was like New York to Nashville because his flight got canceled the day he got drafted. Yeah, he was carpooling like with his agent and stuff, driving to Nashville. Never been to the States before in his life. Had a crazy story. And second overall, obviously, didn't even know he was going second overall. Like, just like Seneca didn't know he was going third. But this is the thing. Like, Gauthier needs a deal now. They have $9 million cap space. Obviously, in a vacuum, you'd like to remove one of Kreider, Killorn, or Vetrano. Vetrano has delayed money till like 2040. I don't know if anyone's taking that deal. Like, that's not happening.
I wouldn't. Unless I'm going to premium asset back.
You might move Kreider. You might move Killorn. Guess what? Each of them have a 15-team no-trade list. And if I'm any team in the league right now, I'm not taking him. I want to pick. I want something back if I'm going to help you get out of your fucking hellhole. Like,
I want Roger McQueen.
We talk about putting pressure. Guys like Drew Hellison and freaking Tristan Leno are about to have so much fucking pressure on them to produce because there's no one on that back end now.
And Stolberg's
going to be huge. He has to pan out. Like, Anaheim's in such an interesting spot. And like, after this year, I think they're going to be fine. But also Seneca's going to need a deal after that. So it'll be interesting to see what that costs. But like, they still need to sign Gauthier. And if I'm Gauthier, I'm not signing for a hair less than 15. Like,
not after that. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you. Like, the market's the market. You'd be lucky to bridge him, I think. You'd be lucky to bridge Gauthier. And that might be the move they have to do, unfortunately.
And you should be thinking he's offer sheet ineligible, because if he was, like, he would have already been offer sheeted.
Oh, I would have. Well, Kyle, you should have given up 4 firsts for that. But not 4 firsts. Man, I don't know. But
I think it was like a first, second, and a third. It was like 11.9 is the limit for that. I would have done that.
What's the one with 2 firsts? I would have done that one.
Yeah, I think anything not involving the 4 first, I would have done.
I might have done 4 firsts for Carlson, though. I will say that. I get behind that.
Well, Danny Briere,
like 4 picks in your 20s are never going to... Like, we had this conversation with Jason Robertson. It's like, do you want Jason Robertson or 4 Frank Nazars? That's the question you're having. So, I get the offer sheet point. I'm glad GMs are owning... Like, smartening up and realizing that you can't acquire this talent in free agency. And I'm very interested to see where Philly pivots from here, because they have 30 million cap space now. Obviously, probably 15 of that's going to Drysdale and Zegras, maybe a little less.
Yeah.
Still plenty of room to make a move. Wouldn't surprise me if they're in on Shane Wright, something like that. They're going to be interesting to watch. But Anaheim is fucked, and they are the loser of this offseason, because
just from that alone,
once everyone's signed, you have no depth, and you will have like 3 million cap space. And I like Dostal, but like I was not confident in what I saw after the Olympic break. So you better hope him and Husa figure it out in net. So I don't know, man. I will say I wouldn't mind Chris Kreider as a Blackhawk if the price is right, but that's probably the move that's going to have to be made, and I wouldn't be against it. I know a lot of teams would take Chris Kreider more than Alex Killorn that has like a metal rod in his leg. So going to be interesting. And like Chris Kreider was a big part of this leadership core last year and had some big ass plays in the playoffs for them. So like that's a loss for them if they, and like the other thing people forget, like maybe they delayed a little longer because Troy Terry's going to be out for a couple months, but like, dude, they're going to have no depth here pretty soon. Like their top 6 will be good, but like, I think the only bottom 6 forward they have signed is going to be like Paling and maybe Vetrano. And I don't think Vetrano, and Q hates Vetrano, so he's not going to see the ice. Vetrano basically should just wear a Duclair jersey on the back of him, because that's what he is to
Trevor Daley,
Marco Dano. Like, that's what you are to Quenneville at this point. Doghouse.
Yeah, looking at their lines right now, Kreider, Carlson, Terry, Killorn, Granlund, Seneca. Like they're gonna have to move one of Kreider, Killorn, so that's a top 6 guy. I don't know why they have go. I would take
it wouldn't,
Granlund.
But he's probably the one that's got value.
Then I mean they have Gauthier on the third line, Paling, Vetrano, and then AJ Greer, Tim Washi, and Jeff Malott. Like I don't
That's the
even
other
know
thing. They
who
gave
Malott
AJ Greer
is.
4x4. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't
And
be
then
giving out those deals when you have to do big boy contracts. That's just my 2 cents.
No, I agree. And then your defenses, Lacombe and Leno, Mintyukov and Moore, who played forward. I don't think he played defense the whole time. And then Hines and Jensen. Just
Quenneville's
so
gonna turn
not
Ian
good.
into Gustav Forsling. Get so fucking excited, Ducks Nation.
And then Dostela's Huso. Like very right now uninspiring.
Prime regression candidate, I think, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Especially with teams like San Jose on the come up in that division. And like even then I think San Jose might get in their own way, but like because I still don't trust their goaltending at all.
Or their defense, for that matter.
Yeah. But like, whose defense is worse, San Jose's or Anaheim's? Probably still San Jose's.
Yeah, sounds it.
And that's crazy because Anaheim has like, what, 3 defensemen? The rest are questionable.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's not the first time we've seen Quenneville cook with 3 defensemen, but like, it's just like, it's bleak, man. You're putting a lot of pressure on Tristan Leno, and you're putting a fuck ton of pressure on Nick Jensen, who's like 35 and can't do that anymore.
No.
Oh well, it looks good on Verbeek. At least you had a good draft. Kleepov's gonna be good.
Yeah, it really does look good on him. And yeah, I know just about everyone else, like across the league, agents, players are like laughing at him, be like, you deserve that. And I know like a lot of agents are happy that Carlson probably got his money. Like how about that? Ice AAV in the NHL, though that might not last long in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's lasting till Makar signs his deal, in my opinion, or Pellegrini, one of the two. Hell, maybe Bedard passes him, but like I don't know. Someone's passing Carlson within the calendar year. I promise you that. We said the same at Kaprizov. Yeah. Like, dude, Kaprizov didn't even have time for his deal to kick in to be the highest paid player in the league. That's
going to be the same with Byram as well. Like, before he even gets
Hawks
paid
suck.
12.5.
Hawks, they don't know what they're doing. Worst team in the league. Lol, Cal, LOL. Sorry.
Hello, human resources.
I don't watch the team. I just hear what the fucking echo chambers say. Anyways.
Oh, that's my train of thought. What was I going to say? I don't remember. What are some other things that happened this off season that like we want to touch on before we wrap this up? Because we're almost at 2.5 hours right now.
Trying to think if we missed any trades.
I don't think so. I think we pretty much touched on everything. At least all the big trades. Like so much shit happened. We're not going to be able to cover everything. And like,
I mean,
even
I guess
in the.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, and coming into the season, when we're doing like previews and stuff, be like, oh yeah, this guy's here, and yada yada yada, so on, so forth.
Yeah, I think like next or in the coming week shows, we'll probably do like predictions on like if people are actually gonna get traded now, because I feel like we're still waiting on a couple. Like we're waiting on Larkin, we're waiting on Riley, we're waiting on Hellebuck, maybe. There's names out there that still need to be moved. So this offseason is not done yet. Like I love to think everyone likes to say like, oh, everyone goes to their cottage after July 2nd, but like the Matthew Tkachuk trade happened like around this time in 2021. Like this is was it 22? 22. But,
22,
yeah, but that's my point. Like the offseason's still going. There's still a lot of big names out there. And for our sake, we better hope Kyle Davidson's still on the phone. So
yeah, it feels like there's a lot of incomplete teams right now. Like going through all the contenders that I went through, like Minnesota feels incomplete, Colorado does, Vegas does, like
Dallas doesn't have Jason Robertson signed, so like I throw them.
Yeah. No, I think we might see a couple more trades throughout the summer, IMO, and I'm not like we've seen a lot of crazy moves. Like, yeah, I think we're bound to see a couple more decent trades.
I think the only complete teams right now are the Florida teams and maybe Carolina, but like Carolina's still got to move Nikishin, so like that's another name.
That's all I wanted to say. Everyone on Carolina needs to fire their agents. Holy shit! Like,
and Montreal.
Good on Tulski for getting that core locked up. Logan Stankoven's making $6 like. Their highest paid forward is Sebastian Aho. He's making under 10. Their highest paid defenseman is K'Andre Miller. He's making 7.5. And yeah, I think I would want to put Montreal in the winners just for getting Demidov to that contract. And they are the same thing. No one is making over 9.5. Their highest paid player is Noah Dobson
in Canada.
Yeah. And like no one
is just he's a savage. And honestly, that whole team should fire their agent. Because they're getting fucking pantsed by the main agent, who's the GM. So,
but hey, like, there's no one big coming up like off the books. Like all their guys are locked up. I do want to shout out Ottawa too, because they're kind of the same thing. Like Stützle's locked up for 8.3, Pinto's locked up, Cousins, Eklund has 3 more years. Sanderson's making $8 million. Like all these teams that were able to lock up their guys in like the $7, $8, $9 million range for long term before this huge cap burst. Like those are going to be the teams to watch out for.
Another good deal from Montreal, I thought, was bridging Dobish, because now you can figure out between him and Fowler who's going to be the guy the next couple of years. I would think it's Dobish, but like Fowler's really fucking good. So like that'll be a fun one to watch going forward. Obviously they still have Montembeault too, but like I don't think he's gonna he's their third goalie now. I think
he's kind of the odd man out, because I remember seeing him maybe going to Edmonton rumors.
Also, that's the sneakiest pickup. I'll say it right now. I love them. I love what they did in net. I know you mentioned it earlier. Edmonton getting Anderson and Levi. I think that's 2 of the best bets they've made in net in a long fucking time. Like you're betting on the upside still with Levi, and you're betting on Freddie Anderson giving you at least 30 good games. I think that's a better bet than just Tristan Jarry and Connor Ingram. I'll tell you that much. And if Levi's the guy, that would be nice.
Yeah. You got 3 guys, but I think with the 84 game season and how things are going, like I think 3 goalie tandems are to be a lot more more common. You can tell we're almost at 2.5 hours right now. Like with the Hawks, we're gonna see. Like I think we're gonna see quite a bit of Comesso too. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Comesso like took over the backup spot. But yeah, like we're gonna obviously Knight's gonna get the big share of the games. Like he's probably gonna get 50, 55 games. But yeah, then maybe you get like 20 from Soderblom and then like 10 or whatever from Comesso. Yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot more of that. I'm on a daily face-off right now, and I'm just going through. Here's some of the players that are still available in free agency. Anthony Mantha, who had 33 goals last year in 81 games, but pretty much disappeared in the playoffs. Yeah, I don't think teams want to give him a long-term contract, but he's definitely the candidate for like maybe signing a contract and then like being traded at the trade deadline for a 1-year contract or whatever. I think Patrick Kane is there. Patrick Line is still out there. I wonder who would take the swing on him. I did hear Vladimir Tarasenko maybe being linked to Edmonton. He still had 23 goals last year. That would be an interesting fit. Michael Bunting is still out there. Eli Tolvanen, and yeah, just kind of a bunch of mid after that. But they're still like not amazing guys, but like some maybe decent guys to take gambles on. And then yeah, there's maybe Dylan Larkin still gets moved. I still think that drags out into training camp. I don't think Hellebuck gets moved. I'd be surprised, but I think there's still a couple more trades out there that's going to happen this offseason.
Yeah, we're not done yet. That's for sure.
Anyways, I think we covered everything we needed to. We're almost at 2.5 hours. Do you have anything like closing thoughts or any more points, or do you want to just wrap this up?
We should wrap this up. I have a puppy barking to get in the room, so
yeah, I hear that. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in to the podcast. Give us a 5-star review on your preferred podcast platform, whether that is Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, whichever. We will be having Scott Powers on Tuesday. I still haven't like locked down a date with Will Scouch, but it was either maybe Wednesday or Thursday next week. So even though we went a few weeks without a pod, we will have some content coming out over the next week or so. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on any new content. So yeah, for Pearson, Dylan, take it easy, y'all, and we will talk another time. Peace.